of the night. We're 8 stages into the rally. We're about to head to the 9th stage, which is happening right over here at Newport Speedway in Newport, Tennessee. Right now, Connor Martell has just pulled into the regroup. There's a little bit of a 10-minute time compression here as they gather all the cars back together. Looks like they're using some mason jars there to take some fuel samples. Kind of a standard thing here. Now we got Travis Pastrana being waved right in, maybe? So, yep, he's getting waved right in. Travis is getting headed in there. I'm going to grab a quick word with Connor if he's available here, because they're taking a little bit of a fuel sample. Connor, we are live right now, Twitch, all that stuff. You know how it goes. Tell us about the day so far.
Yeah, it's been a good day. Really tricky stages, but the car's been doing everything I wanted. The guys gave me a great car, so stoked about that. We've played around with some tires today and finding stuff that works and doesn't work. We had a small spin on the first loop. We just caught like one of the banks in a one and just had a spin and then stalled, so we lost a lot of time. But no, it's been a great day. The second pass on those stages was awesome. A little bit more swept and a little more grip in the car. We actually had it poured on us in the middle of the second stage of that loop, and it looked like it was going to get really slippery, but it didn't. I don't know how, because it was super shiny, but yeah, overall a really good day.
You must be doing something right. They're obviously pulling your car here to check fuel to make sure you're legal. Did you still win the stage that you had the spin on?
No, I don't think so. I think Travis got us by, I don't know, 4 seconds or something like that. I'm not sure, but I don't know if anybody else did. But yeah, we were hoping we still won, but I don't think we did.
I think it's safe to say last night you told us that you were going to clear the dirt on the jump. Say you almost made it across the finish line, an extra 10 or 15 feet. How'd that feel in the car?
It wasn't bad, actually. And I instantly asked Alex after how his back was, and he was completely fine. So, no, and tonight I don't think we have, well, I guess we do a full lap, so we'll try and get even farther tonight, I guess.
We're going to be on the back side of the jump here, on the smaller jump, so make sure you properly send it on there for us.
Absolutely. I'll hit the left side is higher than the right side. I'll hit the left side.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Connor.
Thank you.
So Connor Martell, our current rally leader out here in Newport, Tennessee. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. We're here at the regroup. We got Travis Pastrana standing over here as well, getting ready to head into service. They're pulling fuel, making sure these cars are okay. Here we're right at about 40 cars right now, still in competition. We started with about 50 almost this morning. A couple offs, a couple of mechanicals, a lot of stuff going on. So pretty interesting to see. We got Travis Pastrana's limited 4-wheel drive car here. Everyone always talks about this wing. It's nice and carbon fiber. I'm not going to touch it. It's against the rules. I break some rules, but not that one. I'm not going to touch these cars. Something that's interesting out here is we're seeing a little bit of mud. I don't know if there's any actual water crossings out there, but there has been a significant amount of spot rain. That's the only way I can describe it. It's been raining in just random areas of the stages. We had a 4-mile stage. Competitors were coming off telling us, it was raining in a couple corners, and then it would stop, and then it would start again. And it's been a very interesting weather situation so far here tonight, today, all weekend. Very humid out here, pretty hot. Alex Gelsomino standing here looking at some times maybe. I'm guessing, Alex, how you doing today?
Yeah, good. I was telling our media guys before, really the highlight of the day has been the beautiful roads. It's so fun to drive those roads. There is actually some sections in there that remind me a lot of Rally New Zealand. Okay. A lot of camber, and you're dancing from corner into corner, especially with an awesome car like this Skoda Rally 2. So, yeah, it's been a great day. We have a good lead. Now we have to do a little spectator stage here inside the Speedway and then start all over again tomorrow.
Cool. These roads are kind of made for this car, aren't they? Or is the car made for the roads?
You're absolutely right. The car is made for these roads, so it performs really well on this technical stuff and turns really incredible. So we finished the 7-mile stage, Wasp stage, and we both started smiling, in the car, and we just couldn't believe how fun it was to drive those roads with this car. So really a privilege.
Well, it's great to see. We were hearing everyone say last night that there's like double the stage notes compared to a normal rally because there's so many corners here. Is that accurate for you?
Yeah, that's right. I believe there is something like 230 corners on the stage before the last one. Okay. So that's very unusual here in North America. Stages are usually really fast with long straights. Here we barely have a straight, actually. So, but that's really cool. We get to do something different than normal.
A lot of people might have asked you this last night. Appalachian Acropolis. Accurate, somewhat accurate. I hear there's less rocks, but just as twisty?
As twisty, but way smoother than Greece stages, that's for sure. Okay, yeah.
Well, thank you, Alex. Good luck.
Yep. Thanks.
So we got Patrick Grushka believe currently sitting third place. He's moving in here, also getting the fuel tested, so getting that sorted out. I'm going to move over here, see if I can grab a quick word with Travis. He's leaning up against his car, not sure if they're pulling his fuel. Travis, how are you doing?
Man, doing awesome. I tell you that the first stage that we ran 3 times with that pavement and the uphill kicked my butt every time, but so stoked. Aoife, actually, there was 3 of us. So Shawn, local Marylander, so like lives right down the road. So we tied to the 10th of a second, and Aoife beat us by 4/10. So on that was one heck of a good battle in the limited class, which is really cool. So awesome seeing these Rally 3s. The downhill stages, we're having a blast. I mean, we almost spun probably 3 times. We were backing in everywhere. Got the stage win on one when Connor went around on that same downhill stage. So I feel like we're driving pretty well. I haven't learned how to drive pavement well yet, and I don't think I may ever because now I'm in my 40s. But we gave her hell, and it was definitely awesome to see how well Aoife has picked up. She picked up, 14, 15 seconds since her first run up the hill this morning. She's getting better and more confident in that car every time. It's awesome to see, like there's 3 of us that are battling for stage wins, which in the stage wins, in the class stage wins. So, that's the goal is so we get more and more people out in this limited class or the Rally 3s, and they come out and, we just have a blast.
Okay, cool. It's interesting roads out here. Seeing some tire wear, but not terrible. How do you describe the abrasiveness of these roads?
Not terrible.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
No, extremely abrasive. But you got to think there's 1 page of notes per mile. We have 3 pages of notes per mile. So there's 3 times the amount of information, turns. I mean, I hardly ever use first gear. I'm in first gear for like half of the whole, the first stage, or I guess it was the 3rd stage that we did today. Yeah. It's just left 1, right 1, left 1, right, left 2. You're like, wow, all right, really moving up. But then, you got some downhill stages too that are super fast.
I did notice that the average speed seems significantly lower than some of the other rallies this year.
3 times as many notes and half the speed. So it's good. It feels more like a WRC. I mean, honestly, just seeing how this event's run, obviously there was, some issues. So glad to see Scully's doing okay, and back here. He's here. I don't know if he's all here, but no, I'm just joking. He's good. Awesome dude, and good to see they're not worse off. He had a big off, and it just goes to show you how safe these vehicles are, because if you go off, I mean that was a 5+. He was pretty much max off a cliff into a river bank, and and good to be back here to watch the rest of the rally. So. Awesomely safe equipment, fun to be out here, super technical, challenging roads, and we're having a blast.
Cool. 1 stage left tonight. What's the plan on the jumps?
we got to back down a little bit on the 1 jump.
He's over there thanking him for it.
Yeah. We hit it max once. That's probably 1 too many times. We was good.
Now there's a donut added to it. There's a little bit of a donut around a barrel. You guys got the diff settings dialed in, or what?
So I'm going to open the diffs. I feel like with this car, with the limited car, you open the diffs and it's mostly rear-wheel drive. Yeah. So my goal is definitely to slide. I was giving Dylan, our kind of engineer, he was like, those tires are pretty flogged. We're not going to use them again. So you have fun out there. And I think that's the best advice I've ever, I don't know if it's advice, but strategy I've ever been getting from my team. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Moving on down the line. Great to see, Travis out here, Ree's out here. Let's talk to Ree for a second. Ree, I know you're probably looking at times, doing some real work, but I'm going to bother you with some media stuff. Maybe you're in media as well. How's your day going so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really cool out there to have Shawn and Aoife here. Like, she actually won the last stage, so she got us, well, in our class. Yeah. So she got us by 0.4, and Shawn and us were matched. So it's been really cool. Like, we've got them by a bit on some of the other stages, but then other stages it's been close. So having some good Rally 3s out here has been awesome for us, because that's what we want here racing against this car. That was sort of the purpose of building it, to have a cool limited Subaru that also races with the Rally 3 cars. So yeah, I mean, we're first. I think there's 6 seconds between Shawn and Aoife, so that's really close at the moment. But yeah, we're having a great time. It's awesome racing. They're really good people to race. We're having lots of fun, and we're also second overall at the moment. But Patrick's been setting some good times, so we need to keep him behind us. We were a bit like, hey Patrick, just slow down a bit there. So yeah, no, yeah, we'll keep having fun out there. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to try and convince him to walk it, but he hasn't yet. So we might get lost out there. Hey, if we get lost, just know there was no pace notes, okay? So
Yeah.
I am not taking any blame. If you're like, what is Travis doing? And we get Max for the stage, I am not taking any blame.
I'd say go walk it, but he might find a skid steer again.
Oh dear, imagine if you guys see Kubota out there racing around as Travis doing his track walk.
Exactly. Cool. Thank you, Reed.
Thanks, guys.
Travis Pastrana yesterday hopped in the Kubota skid steer just before the stage start. Sanctioned, of course. The organizers let him do it because he was scoping out one of the jumps and said, this is maybe a little bit more of a quarter pipe than a launch ramp. So Travis hopped in the skid steer, shaved the jump for more of a launch, and then we actually got to see a lot of really good jumps out there. So we got more cars pulling in here. Like I said, they got about a 10-minute regroup here. They kind of bunch all the cars together. There's some extended time gaps, 2-3 minute gaps in spots. So this 10 minutes just allows everyone to get back to that 1 minute gap. Every car starts 1 minute apart on these stages. It's not that door-to-door racing here. If you're watching on our Twitch, you may be new to rally. This is sections, stages of roads that people compete on one at a time. Timed starts, timed finishes here. So moving in, venture over here, talk to some more of the competitors. Let's walk over here. It's starting to set. Sun is setting. I got to go talk to Aoife. She just won a limited four-wheel drive stage. I don't know if that's her first stage win in the class. Definitely probably her first time beating Travis in that car straight up. So we'll see. I'm going to have to talk to Aoife over here. She might be doing engineer work. I'm not sure. Aoife, I haven't seen the results, but Travis is over there telling me that you just beat him on a stage.
Yeah, my last one there. Yeah, no, so super happy with that. Really enjoying the stages, and yeah, the Fiesta Rally 3, you're just getting used to it more and more and able to kind of push a bit more with it. So.
It looked like you were taking a significant amount of time out on each stage, the second pass and even the third pass on the one. And do you feel like you're picking up the pace or just getting used to, tell us about it.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's always easier when you get to go over the second pass again, but I think as well I'm understanding a lot better what the car can do in the corners, which is helping me to kind of pick up the time and get a bit more of a flow on the stage. So yeah.
I think it's something I want to point out is that this is your first time ever racing in a Rally 3 and you're beating Travis Pastrana in the limited four-wheel drive class. It's got to feel like a pretty cool accomplishment.
Yeah, no, it's really cool because even before the stage I said to Rita, I was like, which she was talking about times and I says, I'm trying to catch you. So it was good to be able to do it in that last stage there. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll just keep trying to work on it and see how tomorrow goes.
Okay. You got one stage left tonight. The jumps were super smooth. This thing was flat, flying through the air yesterday. I think you don't get as many jumps, but there's a donut added too. What's your plan here? Are you going to send it again?
Oh, these stages definitely aren't my speciality, so I'm going to just try get around it and then try push from tomorrow. Okay. Is the plan.
Well, we'll be on the backside jump here, so if you take it easy on the other ones, make sure you send it on that one for us, okay?
Yeah, I'll send on that one.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Brendan.
Awesome. Moving down the line here. Florian Barrow standing here. How's it going? Interesting day for you guys?
Yeah, interesting. We were a bit asleep this morning for the two first stages, but then the rhythm getting better for the rest of the day. So we are now able to fight with Travis. We leave service with 20 seconds behind him, and now we are 23 seconds. So like on the loop, we only leave him like 3 seconds. So yeah, target is to make like 1 or 2 seconds back now on the track and stay in contact for tomorrow and see what's happened on the beautiful stages.
Like the whole top 5 are pretty close, all within 2 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty close, and it's nice to see the competition going tighter and tighter. I remember the first race I came to do in the US was in 2018, and this was not this level of competition. So it's interesting for the sport and for the series to have like tight battle like this. So and to be part of it, yeah. Obviously. So yeah, no, pretty happy, and I think it's interesting for spectators to follow the race here, so that's great.
That's great to hear. It's great to see you back. Are you planning on being back for LSPR? Am I getting too ahead of myself? Are you guys committed for it or what?
Yeah, I mean, LSPR is one of my favorite events, but we have to check with Pat, with the team as well, Green APU team. I love this rally, so for sure, if I have the opportunity to come for LSPR, we'll be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys and good luck. And we'll keep an eye on the front bumper for these jumps tonight.
Yeah. We just wonder flat out or not, because my back is still like remembering the nosedive of yesterday. But yeah, let's see. It's fun for the show again. That's made for spectators. So it all depends how much we want to give to spectators. So.
A lot, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Florian. Yep. I'm going to take a look at this front bumper here. So last night we saw Florian and Patrick completely send it on the jumps, and it looked like they lost most of these front bumper pieces. There was all sorts of vents and I don't know what else stuff. There was carbon Kevlar fiber stuff all over the track. They actually had to clear it off for that next run. They had a bunch of people out there sweeping the track. Beautiful jump. You can check that on our live stream from last night. Check that out on our Dirtfish Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, X, all the things where we stream all over the place. I'm going to move on down the line here. We got Shawn Donley in the Renault Clio Rally 3. And it sounds like he just tied Travis Pastrana last stage. I'm guessing maybe you're looking at some times there. Last stage, how'd it go?
Good, yeah. Yeah, it was, we're a little slower on that one. We won it the second go.
Okay.
In the class, and but yeah, we kind of did the same stuff.
So that was Weaver Bend, third running of it.
Yeah.
So in class, Travis won the first one, you won the second, Aoife won the third.
Yeah. And that's cool, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
I mean, how does that feel for you for the limited four-wheel drive class to have like that level of competition now?
Yeah, it's so fun. Every time we get out, we're all three of us. We're like, this is so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like, I came here to compete, so it's fun.
Good. You know, last night we saw you take the jumps. This thing flies amazingly. The wing, just a little bit's all you need. Yeah. What's the plan here tonight?
Put a show on.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to see not hit those anti-cut devices, but see if we can get some nice slides in there and make it look cool, and not lose a bunch of time, but
have some fun.
Yeah, have fun for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in the anti-cuts, but I'd probably avoid them regardless.
Yeah.
Good call. Thanks, Shawn. Yeah, congrats on the stage win. So that's great to hear. The limited four-wheel drive class. Travis won the first running of the same stage, which was stage 2 this morning, and then stage 6. Shawn won, and then stage 8, Aoife won. Maybe it was stage 5, something like that. My numbers are off, not good at math, but it's important to note that they ran the same stage 3 different times, and in the class, the top 3 drivers each took a win. That's something I have not seen in this series in a very long time, so pretty interesting. We got Michael Arsenault here. How you doing?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, tell us about the roads and tell us about what it's like driving these roads in a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah, those roads is so tricky here, so it's the first time I drive those roads like this, so that's very fun. Yeah.
Do you compare this to anything you've raced up in Canada or anywhere else?
Not really, but I try to go in France soon. So we'll do the same road, but in tarmac.
Okay, exactly. Everyone has kind of compared these roads to France, but like you said, it's a total different surface.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on tarmac. I never drive on tarmac, but can't wait to go there.
Yeah. A little bit today, but different tires?
Yeah, different tires, yeah.
Plan of attack for the super special out here?
We will go maybe a little show, but we'll keep the car clean for tomorrow.
And I'm noticing, are we missing? No, he's over there. Okay, Shawn's still up there. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we're still good.
Yeah, we have 40 seconds right now between us. So with my puncture, that
threw you off a little bit.
Stuff happened. Yeah.
Well, we'll catch you later. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Great to see the open two-wheel drive class. Got these Peugeot 208s. They got that the Rally Cup North America. The Stellantis Cup basically is what I've been calling it. We're going to make some room here for Seamus Burke coming in the Ford Escort. But next year they'll have this Rally Cup North America with the Peugeots. So there's a couple of these cars here already. Team FJ is running them. I'm thinking we're going to see a lot more of these. It's great to see Stellantis step up and get involved in America. Hopefully we can see more manufacturers getting involved in American Rally. Got Seamus Burke pulling up here in the Escort. I'm going to make some room. We heard yesterday that he switched from the V8. This thing was so loud. It had like a Roush Yates NASCAR V8 in it. It was so loud you could barely hear anything, but it was shredding tires. They couldn't keep tires on the car. So they actually took out 2 cylinders, went down to a V6, and now they're able to actually drive a little bit more. We got Gary right here, the co-driver for Seamus. Gary, tell us a little bit about the process that went into switching from the V8 to the V6. Was that a decision you had to make, or?
No, it was actually made in LSPR last year. The V8 started to give some trouble.
Okay.
So the winter project for Pascal, our crew chief, who is the greatest crew chief ever.
Yeah.
He had a long winter, changing everything back over again because he had quite a lot of different stuff in for the V8 that he had to take out and rebuild stuff for the V6.
Okay.
So it wasn't a decision I made. No, it kind of Seamus likes to make his own decisions when it comes to engines. He's really into the V8s, V6s.
I don't know if he couldn't hear you with the V8 or something. I know.
No, it was just tires. I was just thinking of this rally last year with the V8. We were pointing out all the places we stopped to change tires because we were just burning them off. We're carrying 2 spares, trying to do maybe 10 mile, switch them for 2 new ones. It was torture.
A little bit easier this year at the V6?
It was a lot easier this year, the V6, but the stages are probably shorter this year as well. But we're just, all the different places we pulled in, we're saying, remember we pulled in there to change over, so good rally. This is very, very good. We're enjoying it. It's good crack. It's a long day. Like it's a tough rally.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet. We still have this to do today, but the stages are really technical. Really, really, you're fighting all the time to get through it. You know, which is good. Yeah. It's good. You know, there are no motorways by any means, but we're enjoying it. We're having good fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Good luck.
Cheers.
Very good to see you, Gary. You know, for those of you just joining us, this is round 7 of the American Rally Championship here by the ARA, presented by Kubota. We're out here, Newport Speedway in Tennessee. In just about 20 minutes, we're going to start to see some cars out here on the track taking some jumps on the oval track. They got this set up as a super special stage, a little bit shorter. So we're going to make some room here. I'm getting in trouble, as I always do in these controls. But again, stay tuned here. 20 more minutes. We're going to be seeing all these cars sending it on multiple jumps. We're going to be 10 feet away from one of these jumps on the side of the stage. I'm looking forward to it. Last night we saw all sorts of chaos, nosedives, skid plates, sparks, car parts flying off, so be very interesting. So again, stay tuned. I'm going to walk backwards here a little bit. It's starting to get dark out. We started, it was daylight. Let's venture into the service area here, start to check out some of the people already working on their cars, and then we'll eventually start posting up inside the racetrack there to get some shots of these jumps. It sounds like Patrick Grushka is going to be pulling in behind us here, so we'll make some room for them to get by. It's starting to cool off. It was getting hot there for a minute. We started the stream, and then all the people and cars walked up and got real hot. So now sun's down, it's cooling off. We're having a good time. We're about to be having a lot better of a time once we see some cars taking some jumps here in this oval track in Newport Speedway in Tennessee. 8 stages today, 9 stages in the rally so far, including the one tonight that we're about to witness with the jumps. 16 stages total for the weekend, so this is day 2 of the rally. We have day 3 tomorrow, which obviously comes after day 2. I'm just learning my basic math here. So thank you for joining us. Got a couple of cars lined up here. We got Brian Katz in the Lexus. We got River City Rally here, had 5 of these Lexuses set up this weekend. Great to see. 3 of them are still in competition. These 2 look like maybe just some mechanical issues. It's a very rough, tight, twisty rally. Very kind of abrasive, but not super rocky. Some people have been calling it the Appalachian Acropolis, but some people that have been to Acropolis have been telling us that there's a little bit less rocks than an Acropolis. So keep on moving down the line here. We can walk over to the Subaru trailer where Travis Pastrana is getting his car worked on. He's probably over there signing lots of stuff for the fans. Again, if you're unaware of what the American Rally Championship is, this is an 8-race series based all over North America. We're out Oregon, Washington, Michigan, Missouri, Minnesota, and now we're down in Tennessee. We're going back to Michigan for round 8 of the championship. So here is Travis Pastrana in the Subaru team's car for his limited 4-wheel drive. You're getting that thing all suited up. Travis was just telling us a minute ago that he's going to keep the same tires on that he just ran this afternoon so that he can beat those things up on the gravel and the tarmac stuff out here and get on some of those jumps. He said it was about a 20-minute service here. We should be going pretty soon. Let's go take a look over at Connor's thing. We see what time this car is supposed to be out. We'll find out what time the stage is actually going to start at. Patrick Grushka coming through in the Hyundai i20. See if they updated this time. I know they put the time on their board. It's too dark. I can't see their time. See if Connor's around here. I'm just going to venture right in here. You know, I break a lot of rules. Where's my cameraman? Ryan, you're back there. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'll wander around over to the team here. We'll avoid shooting under the hood. 47, I believe that to be their last one. But I want to just ask Alex real quick so we can get you guys informed on what time. What time's your out minute? What time's your guys' out minute? Yeah. I'm asking the wrong guy. Yeah. Alex, what time's your out minute?
I can't remember.
You can't remember? That's not a good sign. Okay. Do you happen to know? We're just wondering what time we should head over to the jump. Well, that's saying 47. We think that's the last one. At 8. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. Perfect. So, guys, in about 6 minutes, they're going to have to get this car out of here and head right onto the stage. So, again, stay tuned. In 6 minutes, we're going to see this thing completely sending it second, third gear flat on some of these jumps. Yesterday, this thing was getting 3-4 feet of air, maybe jumping 80 feet. It's going to be quite exciting to see, keeping it flat. They had a massive jump in Ohio that Alex actually had a little bit of a back injury in this exact car when they had tarmac suspension. And I don't know, they probably were about 5-6 feet in the air with this car going 80, 90 miles an hour. So it's great to see. I'm going to walk over towards the stage here. Maybe walk through Subaru here as well. I'm just kind of going rogue behind the scenes a little bit. I think Travis is in his motorhome, so we won't bother him. I'm going to crawl up this wall. Follow me. This is live. Nothing is fake here. You know, we're doing it for real. I'm lining up, crawling up the wall. You got it? You get it in the hand? There we go. We've fallen before. I've fallen before on the live streams. Ryan, cameraman, has fallen before as well. But this is it. Newport Speedway. We're walking out here, taking a quick peek of what's going on. Got a few people starting to line up. You know, a lot of the people are still over there at the tents getting autographs, trying to meet some of the drivers. But in just about 5 minutes, they'll be coming around whole loop track. Looks like the zero car is going out now to clear the stage. They'll be doing an inner loop, an outer loop over this jump right here. They've added some dirt onto the track. Last night, they were clearing the end of the dirt with the jump. You can kind of see right at the end of the dirt is where it's all cleared off. There's a couple of rubber marks there. Maybe some cars had some moments. We didn't see any too big of moments here at the end of these jumps, but it's going to be interesting. A couple of donut loops over on the backside. I'm sure it's going to fill out here real quick in the next 5 minutes, so stay tuned. We're going to be right here at the jump. I mean, I don't know how many other sports you can get this close to a jump. You go to off-road trucks, things like that, maybe Baja in the desert, not as safe. Here we're 10 feet up from this jump behind a nice brick wall and a nice safe distance. So zero car has entered and is clearing the stage over there. So, again, for those of you just joining us, we're here for round 7 of the ARA National Championship Overmountain Rally in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. Feels like it's almost getting a little hotter out. I might set down the mic and pop off my hoodie for a minute, so bear with me, guys. Stay tuned. Be right back.
Go around the inside, but gotta get up here. So the sooner you get up here, the sooner we get started. Thank you.
I'm back. I'm back. So zero car is hopping out there. There might still be some car parts left over. We ran this last night as a little bit different shaped super special where they just kind of basically did the oval. So there could be some car parts still left out there from last night. This is all going to happen very quickly. I believe 1 minute intervals on this stage. So every minute we'll have a car coming by, screaming, hitting this jump. So this is just about 1.5 miles. The race on a whole is about 101 miles, something like that, 16 stages. So maybe about 1% of the rally happens here. The rest of it happens 20, 30 minutes away over there in the woods. We were out there all day interviewing the drivers at the end of the stages. You can check that out on all of our other channels. You know, we got the videos. We're bringing you the news live. I'm out there in the middle of nowhere, no cell phone service for 20 miles. We go out there, we do the interviews, we drive back somewhere, we upload them, put them on the internet as soon as we can. We're out here bringing you the news in the hot Tennessee heat. So it looks like some of the other media is starting to set up in the middle there. I see, that looks like Travis is potentially walking back with Reese. So maybe we'll grab a quick word with Travis now that he's done a track walk out here. He's heading back. Technically, they're supposed to be out in about 2 minutes. They're bolting the tires back on the Skoda right now, so they should be out of there pretty quick, but we'll see if we can grab a quick word with Ree and Travis about what they've noticed out there. Travis was in that Kubota skid steer yesterday, reshaping the jumps. I'm gonna have to jump down the wall here. There we go. And Travis is walking back up. Now that he's done his track walk, we'll find out real quick. So, Travis, you obviously just did a little bit of recce. I know you got a minute or two, but how is it?
Oh, it's awesome. I think they're trying to get as much speed for the jump as you can coming out of that corner, but hopefully not too many D beads because you got to slide it to do the donut up onto the banking. So it's you know, nothing about this event is simple. Everything's pretty tricky. So it'll be some good entertainment and should be a lot of fun.
Cool. And do you know what your minute out is? I'm asking the wrong person.
Yeah, my co-driver just walked by. You talked to Reed.
Cool. Good luck. Thanks. Good luck. So, like I said, I think 8 p.m. is the first car out, so we'll be seeing the cars head into the stage here in just a few minutes. Zero cars lined right up. I'm going to just take a peek out here before the zero car enters the stage. It's pretty interesting to see. Oh, 000's behind me, giving me the lights. Significant banking. I'm not good at math. 30, 40 degrees, who knows? But they go all the way around the oval, infield, outfield, donut around the exit of the infield section there. They hit a secondary jump on the other side. Then they come screaming around here, and they're hitting this jump right here, and that's where we're going to be posted up. We're going to be bringing you the action right at the side of the stage here for round 7 of the ARA National Championship. People are heading over to the jump, so Ryan, let's go claim our spot. We got to bring these people the news. Hopping up here. Oh, not as bad as the wall earlier. I have fallen on a few of these live streams, but that's what happens when you're live. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make it happen. Got the viewers out here. So there's the Skoda. We can kind of see Alex is just getting suited up here. They're in the service area. The team had 20 minutes to take care of anything they needed to take care of. Looks like they threw rallycross tires on, so a little bit of gravel, tarmac, compound mix of tires to be able to get some more grip. Connor won this stage by a few seconds last night and probably jumped to 80 feet on the big jump. So Alex has just closed himself into the car. Connor's going to be hopping in any second. And the stage will begin. 101 miles is this race in 16 different sections. 2 of the stages are these short little super specials. The rest of them range from 4 to 10 or 12 miles each. One of the tightest, twistiest rallies in America, if not the world. We're hearing some co-drivers that have been all over WRC, New Zealand. I guess WRC was in New Zealand, but everywhere. And they're saying they haven't seen anything with this many notes per mile, that many more turns. So very, very busy rally out here. But I'm going to find a good spot. Where should we be? I feel like if we're straight in the middle of the jump, we're not going to get the good action. So let's go down another 10, 15 feet, maybe 10, 15 yards. Make sure we can get a good angle for you guys. They'll be coming through the infield, doing a little donut there on the exit, and then they'll be taking this jump right here. And I think they're going to be landing right in front of us. So how wide can you get there, Ryan? How's this jump going to look? That's full width right there? Okay. Maybe we go down a little further then. Again, thank you for joining us here on the Dirtfish Rally channel. Brought to you by Teradek. We're streaming on the Teradek 5G Mobile Prism. If you do any live streaming, you definitely got to look up the Mobile Prism. This thing combines 6 or 8 cell phone modems. It's got a bunch of SIM cards in there, a couple of Wi-Fi modems. We can even hook this up to Wi-Fi wirelessly, plug it in, and it bonds all those networks together to be able to keep your stream just going all the time out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I took this thing to Africa a few months ago in Kenya and streamed some stages out there for the WRC. We took this thing to France a couple of months ago. We were just streaming in Ohio at the jump there, where, I mean, we saw cars getting 5-6 feet of air. We'll definitely see some good jumps, but I think, you know, we see the top 10, 15 cars here. These jumps are kind of designed, well, Travis designed one of them last night, but the top 10, 15 cars are designed to take jumps like this, so we'll see some less nose dives as long as they stay flat. But when we get towards the back of the pack is where it gets very interesting, because you got some home-built cars, you know, 40-ish cars here tonight. We saw some very interesting landings last night, and last year we saw some incredible nose dives coming in real heavy here. So it's going to be very interesting. You're going to want to stay tuned here. In just the next couple of minutes, we're going to be seeing some rally cars flying through the stage at an intense rate of speed and getting air. I mean, what better time can you have than cars getting air? Rally cars getting air. That's one of the coolest things. It's one of my favorite things. That's why I do this. That's why I work at the rally school. That's why I stream. That's why I do all this. That's why we all do it. Zero car avoided the jump. They could have hit it. Would have set the tone, but don't blame them. They got a spare tire in the back. But I think we got a good spot here. No one else is set up. I'm kind of surprised. Let's see. I'm going to take another peek. Has Connor left? Connor has not left yet, so he must have just a couple of more minutes there before he's got to go. They did the regroup and they tested the fuel. They are always, sometimes they weigh the cars, sometimes they hook a hose up and check the fuel, make sure everything's up to par, proper spec. Everybody's playing evenly on an even playing field-ish as much as you can in rally. You know, there's so much variation in all the top cars here. I mean, 40 cars, you got anything from a car that can go for $350,000 to $400,000 all the way down to someone that probably bought their car for $2,000 or $3,000. You know, you got cars as new as this year and cars as old as, I don't know, I think I've seen some 70s. There's a Ford Capri out here. It's pretty cool. So Connor has started. You can see the headlights turning on the Skoda there. Again, if you're joining us live, we are in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway for round 7 of the ARA National Championship, brought to you by Kubota. In just a few weeks, we'll be heading to Michigan for round 8, Lake Superior Performance Rally. One of my favorite rallies. I've ran that thing probably 5 or 6 times. It's up there in the beautiful fall peak colors of autumn, the orange, the yellows. Gonna be great. Oh, Ryan, look at this. Let's get a shot of that. Who's that? We got Trevor and Justin Jenny. Got some media guys that climbed up there. They got the prime spot. That's pretty good. Do we try to climb that? We got like 2 minutes. Do we try to climb it? There it is. Trevor's giving us the wave up there. That is Connor's media crew. He's first on the road, currently leading the rally by just about a minute. It's interesting, this rally. We've seen really, really good competition. The top 5 cars are all within 2 minutes. The limited 4-wheel drive, Travis won one of the stages. Shawn Donley won one of the stages in the Renault Clio, and then Aoife won one of the stages. The same stage that they ran 3 times, someone different won it from the same class each time. That's really cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Got some cars pulling through. The Skoda's gone. We'll see when he pulls out onto the stage. It should be any minute here. Check my phone here. It's 8:05 here, standard Eastern time. If you're watching anywhere else, it's probably a different time unless you're in our time zone. That is my logical math here. Volunteers are getting set up. Guys, but this was originally planned to start about 30 minutes ago. So our plan was to get streaming about 30 minutes ago, and there's a couple small delays for various reasons in the rally, but that's the thing about rally. It is kind of a press-on regardless situation. So we can see Connor making his way around the whole exit there, and then he's going to somehow drive into the stage. I believe the only entrance is over here, so he's going to have to go to time control all the way around and then pull into the stage. But just a few minutes, guys. The people are starting to line up. Everyone knows we got a pretty good spot. This isn't bad. You know what I'm going to do is just, nobody's looking. That's good. All right. We got some of Connor's crew guys out here lining up right behind their tent. They got a great spot for the jump. The Skoda is known to fly. It flies very smooth, so looking forward to seeing this thing out here. Let's get this started, guys. Let's make it happen. Again, for those of you just joining us, round 7 of the ARA National Championship here in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. Travis Pastrana has got his helmet going. He's just about to crawl into the car there. I'm going to check the schedule, see if there's any updates or any new delays, but we should be seeing some jumping cars here in just about 2 to 5 minutes. No updates yet, so we should be pretty on time. Looks like we got some of the organizers and some of the timing people heading in there. The 0 car is relining up, so maybe this is the official 0 car running. So basically, the way this works, they have 3 safety cars, the 000, the 00, and the single 0. And once that single 0 goes through the stage, that stage is considered hot. That means no one can cross the road, no one can go out on it. This is a shut-down location for safety at that point. So that car will do a quick lap around here, and then we will see Connor line up and enter the stage. He'll be doing about a lap and a half here. There's going to be some infield, there's some outfield, there's 2 jumps set up, there's a donut barrel. Hopefully we can get a shot of that donut barrel over there. Let's see if I can pull up the map and decode this again for myself. So they'll be starting over there in front of the crowd, kind of right where that silver truck is right now. Can you see that truck, Ryan? There we go. So where that silver truck is where they're going to start. They're going to come right around the corner here for this first jump, which will be pretty exciting. Then they'll go around the infield, do a nice little move around. They got some anti-cut devices in there. They got bales of hay. They got some barrels. Hopefully there's nothing in those barrels. If there's water, you could see a significant amount of damage. So we'll see. Actually, look at this. Michael Hooper has just showed up in the open 2-wheel drive class. Michael, what are you looking at? Are you scoping out here?
I was eavesdropping. I was hoping you were going to tell me what we're supposed to do down here.
I'm still trying to figure it out as well. I think
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, we can watch the 0 car together, I guess.
She's going to grab a piece of paper that's supposed to tell us. I think you just had it, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, though.
There's a lot of barrels, a lot of hay bales, a jump still here, which I didn't think we were hitting that again, but you just said we were. So.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think you're hitting this one once, though, instead of twice. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like you start there, you come around, hit this once,
okay,
and then at some point you make your way into the infield.
Start where? Start
so
inside?
Yeah, so 0 car's running.
Oh, yeah.
So he's coming around. He's coming through here. Do you think 0 car's going to hit the jump?
Adam Kimmett, no one knows. Maybe.
Maybe. He gave us a little siren. Hooper, what can you tell us about the day so far for you? You're sitting 3rd open 2-wheel or something?
Man, Richo's right there. A couple seconds. Yeah. I think we're still 3rd. It's close. Okay. Us, Richo, and Seamus are really close on time. Okay, so he took a left in there.
Okay.
Sorry to.
No, that's good. That's why we're here. This is live. So anything you can do to help guide us on this, walk us through. What's going through your head when you're coming around this corner?
Sideways, 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 straighten out. Sideways, 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 straighten out.
What about this donut barrel thing you're supposed to do right here?
Well, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, right there.
Yep, so donut around that barrel, fully around 1.5 times.
That would be sideways, sideways, sideways. Looks like fun, honestly. Looks like a ton of fun.
That's great. It's a little bit cooler than it was last night, which helps. Probably for you in the car as well.
It's going to be, yeah, definitely. It's going to be really weird doing that transition, never having, normally when you do donuts, it's on the flat. So you're going from flat to down to up. So it'll be a little interesting to see how it feels in the car.
We were just talking to Travis about it, and he was telling us that he's worried about D-beating as he's going up the pressure. Is that something you've considered, or is this?
Maybe just lots of wheel speed.
Okay, lots of wheel speed. Awesome. So that's probably about it right there. 0 cars crossing. So maybe we do get this jump twice. I really hope we get the jump twice.
Yeah, come around, hit the jump. Where'd he go in at? He came back. He went in down there.
Yep.
And went hard left, around this way, back out through the opening, donut, and then down again?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just keep going around until someone flags you down to stop, basically.
I think for this, we'll do what's called a jet boat. So we'll just have her point, because I'll forget about turn 2.
Did they even provide notes for this?
There's a page. Okay. Oh, yeah, see, right there. Okay. She's got it.
It's a map. It's a map. Old school style, right? Claudia's got the map out there showing us the jumps. Claudia, do you know if we hit this jump twice?
No idea.
No clue. Okay. Yeah. Tell them to hit it twice. It'll be better for us. How do you feel about the jumps last night?
They are like designed to lawn dart cars.
Okay.
so it was okay though. I mean, jumps not so much, but the event was great. It's just fun getting out here, watch everybody run. And then the matchups are great, and then getting to see everybody else run and push.
Connor's out on the stage. I'm guessing he's going to warm up his brakes and tires here a little bit. He's got rallycross tires. I'm not sure how many other people went to those. Travis was saying he's keeping his gravels on from the last loop. So Connor's warming up his brakes there. He won this stage last night significantly. Good to see you, Hooper. Good luck. Michael Hooper there in the open two-wheel drive Lexus. That thing is going to be screaming. He'll be sending it on these jumps, like he said. A little bit of nosedive in his car, but Connor gave us a significant amount of donuts last time. He's lining up top of the wall here. Any second now, guys. We're about to have some jumps. Again, for those of you just joining us on our Twitch channel, this is round 7 of the ARA National Championship in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. You are watching the Dirtfish Rally channel. We are a rally school out of Seattle, Washington area. We teach people to drive rally cars 7 days a week. You can check us out, dirtfish.com. Right now, it's about to happen. Connor Martell, our rally leader, first car on the road, is going to come through here. He's going to hit this jump, sending it. If you haven't seen this before, this is a spectacle. There are going to be probably 3-4 feet of air in this Skoda. It's going to be great to see. So any second now, we're going to hear some launch control. We're going to see it launch. You know, we're able to go live anywhere in these types of situations via the Teradek 5G mobile Prism. They just came out with a new model, the Jetpack. If you do any live streaming, which I'm sure a lot of you do, you're going to want to check one of these things out. It takes 8 cell phone modems, maybe 2 wireless connections. You can plug in some Ethernet connections as well, and it bonds all of those together to make sure your stream is always online, and you really can go live anywhere. Like I was saying earlier, I took this thing to Africa, in Kenya, in the middle of nowhere, the middle of the African Sahara. I was able to go live with just a couple of clicks of a button, and we were streaming for hours and hours out there. So Connor's lined up, and the way this works is everything's timed. Everybody has their watches sunk up together, synced up, sunk up. Not sure how that works. So they'll have a minute. There's no one out there. There's no actual lights showing them when to go. They literally will just have a countdown on their watch, and that's when they'll be able to go. So really looking forward to seeing some of these jumps here. I am getting all sorts of text messages on my phone from people telling me that they are watching this live. So again, if you guys are watching this, leave us a comment. If you're texting me, I might not see all the text here, but if you got anything you want to see, maybe text me with something to show you guys different. But the action's about to kick off here. We got 40 cars about to enter this stage. I'm looking forward to it. It was amazing to see last night. All of us were in the infield because they weren't running the infield portion, but tonight is a little bit of an extended stage. So you can see the cars lining up. Connor's on the stage. Let's get this thing going, guys. Connor, last night, when they were walking the jump, was telling me, so if you look over there, you can see the lip. I don't know, what is that, 60, 70 feet total of dirt, maybe a foot and a half of dirt. Doesn't look like much, but when you're hitting that thing at about 80 miles an hour, you're going to be probably landing here towards the end of the dirt. I would not be surprised if Connor completely clears all of this dirt. The other announcer up there in the tower at the Newport Speedway is talking about getting this thing started, but I'm sure Connor is antsy. You know, he tried to warm up the tires and brakes, and now he's sitting here. But once this thing starts, we'll have those 1 minute gaps. Here we go. There's launch control. Connor is heading in. Connor Martell, current rally leader, and Alex Gelsomino jumping right into the infield section there. Nice little hairpin. He's going to be coming around. Nice drift here around the corner. Trying to figure it out, warm up those rallycross tires. A little bit of understeer to start. I'm sure he's going to be keeping it nice and tidy. Three-wheeling a little bit there. Rear tires coming up. Now he's got to dip out and do a little donut up the ramp. Back around all the way around the donut there. Back down, small jump here. Small jump, only 2 or 3 feet. Now he's coming around. Here's the jump. This is what we've been waiting for, guys. I'm going to point the mic at the audio so you can hear it. There we go. There we go. You heard a flat rev limiter coming around that thing. Now let's see if he sends it again. Another jump, big nosedive. And there it is. Just like that, stage 9 has begun. First car on the road, Connor Martell, completely sending it. So it looks like he landed maybe 2-3 feet into the dirt. So a good, I don't know, 60, 70-foot jump. Connor giving us the horn there. There's his crew cheering him on. Great to see. Rocking those Michelins. And just like that, Travis Pastrana is entering the road to go line up at the start line in the limited four-wheel drive car. So Connor is in the RC2 class, which is a homologated RC2 Skoda, basically a Rally 2 car in the WRC, but this is the ARA, so it's a little bit different here class-wise. We have open class, we have RC2, we got limited four-wheel drive, slightly different, but those Rally 2 cars do qualify for the RC2. So Travis Pastrana is lined up. Something interesting to note is Travis is lined up in the middle of the road, where Connor was up as high on the wall as he could to really set up that first hairpin. Travis told us he was staying on those used gravel tires where Connor was on those rallycross tires, so he was kind of going for time. I think Travis is going to go for show here. You know, sometimes it's worth sacrificing 5 to 10 seconds to put on a show for the fans, and as we know, Travis Pastrana is significantly known for that type of thing. So any second here, we're going to see Travis come around and get this thing started. A little bit of dust from the jumps. You can hear Connor pulling in to his service area behind us. It's pretty cool. Subaru's coming up here to watch their guy, Travis Pastrana, out on stage. Their guy and woman, Rhiannon Gelsomino, his co-driver there, is also in the car with him. It's interesting. Connor Martell has Alex Gelsomino, and then his wife, Rhiannon, is co-driving for Travis. So great to see a husband and wife out here competing against each other in first and second place. So Travis is on stage. So he's moving in there, going to come around the infield section here. There's a nice big slide, nice FPV drone behind, good tire smoke, not dealing with that understeer like Connor was. There's some handbrake potentially. That is great. And here he comes for the donut. We just spoke with Travis with this a little bit. He had a good strategy here. He's going to send it, lots of wheel speed around that donut. He was opening up the diffs. There he goes, perfect, nice and tidy on the donut. Nice small jump there, still about 2-3 feet of air. Coming around much faster on this. He's going to use the banking, big slide, coming around, lost a little bit of speed, but he's still going to hit the jump. Not as big as last night, but still mobbing. Probably going to be a little bit better of a time as he's keeping it a little bit more tidy. And then here he's hitting the next jump. He played it smart. There it is, Travis Pastrana, second car on the road, second place in the rally. Been an interesting battle for the limited four-wheel drive class. Travis just going over the jump for fun in the end, why not? And there we go, Patrick Grushka in the RC2 class, second in RC2, third overall is entering the stage in the Hyundai i20. Again, Patrick warming up his brakes. You can see him going on and off those brakes, warming up the tires a little bit. With this being such a short stage, I mean on the tarmac, you know, you're coming from a standstill in the service area, and then you just got to hop into this. So you got a very short period of time to warm those brakes up, make sure they work. But if I had to guess, I'd say we're going to see some interesting stuff. Last night, Patrick hit that jump. He just rolled over there real slow, massively, cleared all the dirt, landed front end nose heavy, carbon Kevlar parts, underbody parts were flying all over the place. They had to clean up the track after him just so a couple more cars could go. We already got the next car lined up. Javier Oliveras is behind him as well, also in the RC2 class. He's rejoining now after having a radiator issue earlier. For those of you who are paying attention to the times, Javier, sounds like he had some sort of leak. Not sure if it was from a cut or anything or if he hit something, but they got a new radiator in and that car is good to go. So Patrick Grushka also lining up in the middle of the road here at the Newport Speedway. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is Dirtfish Rally for round 7 of the ARA National Championship, brought to you by Kubota in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. If you're unfamiliar with Dirtfish, we are a rally school out of Seattle. We teach people to drive rally cars 7 days a week. You can do this. Just check out our website, dirtfish.com. And just like that, Patrick Grushka has entered the stage. Stage 9 of 16 of the rally. Patrick keeping it kind of tighty on the start. Dealing with a little bit of understeer, seeing some tire smoke, coming around, little backfire with some flame there. He's got that anti-lag going. That anti-lag just kind of trips the turbo out a little bit to keep the boost up. Anytime you're off throttle, that thing is still building boost. Nice little donut around there for Patrick, keeping his headlights off as well. Interesting strategy there. Made it a little bit more of an oval. Maybe that was a time decision. Played it smart on this jump, and here he comes around the corner. I'm going to give you guys the audio. There it is. Kept it a little bit tighter. He checked up. These guys learned last night that these jumps can definitely give your crew some extra work. So Patrick's still jumping pretty good out there. Not as massive as he went last night. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to see some wild cards out here tonight. We're going to see some people a little bit further in the back that are not going to lift, that may lift and cause themselves some extra issues. It could get quite interesting. You know, when you're out here for rally, life does get quite exciting. And now Javier Oliveras also in the RC2 class. Not sure what his time standing is now with him missing a few of the stages. He'll have some time penalty situations going on. So he's definitely dropped back. He will still be early up on the road because of his pace, but he's probably got a few time penalties for missing some few stages there. But be interesting. Last night we talked to KJ Miller, his co-driver, and their plan was stay flat. If I had to guess, I'd say they're going to stay flat again tonight, unless they're on their last spare radiator, which could be an issue out here. Again, for those of you just joining us, we're here in Newport, Tennessee for round 7 of the ARA National Championship. If you're not familiar with what the ARA National Championship, this is a 8-race series based all around Northern America. We're out in Washington, we're out in Oregon, we're in Michigan at the start and finish of the series, we're in Minnesota, we're in Missouri, we're in Ohio, and we're here for round 7 in Tennessee. We're heading to Michigan, up in the UP, based out of Marquette, Michigan, for round 8 in just a couple of weeks' time, early October. You'll be able to check that out on all of our channels, but if you're local and in the area, check it out. Basically, all the hotels sell out in that area. It's a massive event, tons of spectators, one of my favorite events, the beautiful fall colors up in the Upper Peninsula of Northern Michigan. So Javier Oliveras here in the Ford Fiesta RC2 car. We saw Javier Oliveras win 2 times in the limited 4-wheel drive, 2 years in a row, the championship, and then he stepped up into this Rally 2 car last year at the end of the year, and now he's feeling this thing out. A little bit more power, a little bit more geometry and suspension travel. Hopefully we're going to see some of that flexing of that suspension out here on these jumps. Once this thing kicks off, I'll talk a little bit less so you guys can see more cars, hear more cars. I wish you guys could all be here in person, but the next best thing is us bringing it to you live on a stream via our TerraDeck 5G Prism mobile backpack, which is bonding multiple, almost 6 to 8 cell phone networks together, so we don't drop the stream. If you're into streaming, check that out. You know, we got a couple thousand people out here, and once you get a couple thousand cell phones into an area, it's very hard to stream and maintain your bandwidth, and that is what TerraDeck allows us to do, and that's what we're out here doing, bringing you guys the news, keeping you informed. You know, we came over here, Ryan's a camera guy, so I'm talking to him a little bit, and there was nobody out here, so I want you to turn and show the crowd. Just on this side. Everyone copied our spot. We set this up. We're like, we're going to come out here and stream. We got the best spot. They saw us. Maybe they saw our stream on our Twitch, and they're like, all right, we got to go follow those guys. Dirtfish knows how to do it. So here we go. Javier's got the anti-lag, launch control on. He's heading into the stage. Quick hairpin right off the bat, going into the infield. If I had to guess, I'd say Javier's going to use some handbrake in here. Hopefully see some good rotation. There he goes. A little understeer coming through. So lots of anti-lag. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Coming around now out, back onto the outer loop for a quick donut around the barrel. There we go, nice and tidy for that donut. And now the short jump. Not bad, stay flat. You hear that rev limiter? I'm gonna point the mic at the audio. Let's hear it flat on this jump. So if you can see that at home, he's gonna hit the jump here again. There it is. You can see that catalytic converter right on the tip of the exhaust. You have to have that for the rules, but it doesn't say exactly where it has to be. So the further back you can put that, the less it actually affects the power of the car. So you can see that thing glowing orange as he's coming around the corner. Hopefully you can see the exhaust. Probably still glowing orange here. It's cooled down a little bit. But we got one of the Peugeot 208s out there, the Rally 4s. This is a front wheel drive. This is the first of the front wheel drive cars out here on the stage. And this is Shawn Johnston, another WRC driver as well that's spent some time around the world driving all sorts of cars. I believe he was in Rally 2 for a while. We've seen him come around. He was in a Rally 3 here last year, and now we're seeing him in this front wheel drive Peugeot 208 ran by Team FJ, which are going to be doing a Stellantis North American Rally Cup in these things next year. We're going to have a lot of cars out here, these front wheel drives competing together. This event, we've only got 2 of them. I would guess we're going to see 5 to 10 of these things next year with really good competition, so that's quite exciting as well. The sport is growing. This thing is growing. Every event we see more and more people. We get more and more cars. Some of these events got 80 cars at them. It's completely ridiculous. They had to cap a few of them. I think Oregon was almost at 90 this year. And you can do this. You know, anyone can really rally. Yes, it is expensive. It's not cheap. Nothing motorsports is cheap. Anything cars is expensive. But if you want to learn how to do this, check us out, dirtfish.com. We teach people to drive rally cars 7 days a week. We got rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs if you want to, smiles per dollar, smiles per mile. Rear-wheel drive's the way to go. If not, we got the all-wheel drive Subaru STIs. Check that out. So you can see the Peugeot on the road here. Front wheel drive. Sometimes people think front wheel drive is quite boring. These things mob. This turbo, look at that, 3-wheeling. See if you can get a close up on that rear wheel there. He's definitely gonna be 3-wheeling through there again. Lifting that rear tire. These things are quick. Got a little bit of anti-lag going as well, keeping that boost up. A little bit harder to do a donut in a front wheel drive for sure. Especially when you've got a 20, 30 degree bank turn there, but nice smooth jump. And here he's coming around for the big jump, and I'll point the mic at the car audio, so hopefully you guys can hear this. There it is, went a little wide right on the jump. I don't know if that was a tactic, but Shawn Johnston sending it on the second jump there. Awesome. And there we go, next car is heading out. This is Aoife, our Dirtfish Women in Motorsport driver. If you haven't heard of Dirtfish Women in Motorsport, we got a couple of Dirtfish Women in Motorsport drivers. Aoife, first time in a Rally 3, warming up her brakes, warming up her tires. She's not messing around. Moving the car all sorts of around. I'm gonna have to move my phone here. I got people calling me, texting me, telling me all about the stream. Guys, again, thank you for joining us. Aoife is lined up on the stage. Setting up a secondary camera here because we're going to bring not just live streams to you guys, but we're also going to bring some secondary content. So you can check it out on all of our other social channels, dirtfish.com. We bring you the news. We bring you all the rally news from around the world. We got a team in Scotland this weekend. We got a team in Newport, Tennessee. That's me. I'm here. And then we got our rally school operations always going on. I believe we had a one-day rear-wheel drive class going today. You might even see some of that in our stories on our Instagram, Meta, Facebook, whatever that's called. We got some classes. We do these things 7 days a week. We're teaching people to rally. We stay busy. If you want to bring your own rally car, if you're already into the sport, we can do that too. Give us a call, give us an email, book online. It's that simple. Learn to rally. You can do this. So Aoife is lined up. Great to see the limited four-wheel drive class having such competition. She won the last stage for the limited four-wheel drive class, beating Travis Pastrana. Here she goes. Ridiculous amount of anti-lag. There it is. Aoife going into the infield, keeping it nice and tidy to start. Coming around the outside here. Nice little bit of rotation there. Not so much understeer like some of the front wheel drives we're dealing with. Maybe a hair of three-wheeling. Then Aoife's going to come around for this donut on the bank turn. This is going to be interesting. Quite a tough one. Let's see. Aoife is coming around. There it is. Nice high on the bank turn. Real high up there. Maybe a little bit of time strategy. Tidy on the exit. Going wide up high, but then tidy on the exit for the jump. Here Aoife comes around for the jump. There it is. Aoife sending it on the jump, staying flat. I've got one more jump for Aoife here on the backside. There she is. Awesome. I actually had the opportunity to test that exact car. I sat passenger seat in that car with Aoife for an entire day. We did about, 25, 40 miles at Dirtfish. It's hard to count when you're having that much fun in a Rally 3 car like this. You see a car like this and you think, that thing's tidy, doesn't look like it's moving around a lot. That thing feels like a side-by-side when you're in it. That is a factory M Sport built Rally Ford Fiesta Rally 3. Now, speaking of factory built, we got the Renault Clio Rally 3 out there as well. Shawn Donley. There's a great battle going on right now for the limited four-wheel drive class between Travis Pastrana, Aoife Raftery, and Shawn Donley. Shawn is out there on the line. We saw him in one of those front-wheel drive cars last event because it's hard to get parts for this Renault Clio here in the U.S., and they had a couple little motor issues at round 5, I believe, in Ohio. So round 6, he didn't front-wheel drive in the Peugeot. Shawn, not a stranger to front-wheel drive. He did bring home the limited two-wheel drive championship in 2023 in a Ford Fiesta as well. Great to see him out here in the Renault Clio, bringing something unique to the U.S. Hopefully we see more of these things out here. U.S. Rally is all about unique cars. Yes, this Clio may not be so unique if you're in a otherworldly rally somewhere around the world, but for us here, I would guess that 90% of people in the stands right now have no clue what that car is. They probably have no clue. But you see all sorts of weird things out here in American Rally. That is really the beauty of it. This is not a weird car for the worldly rally people, but there it is. Nice, smooth launch control. A little sputter there on the launch. That tarmac gripped up a little bit too good for him, but Shawn throwing some flames there every shift. A little bit of three-wheeling coming around. Some understeer. Handbrake at the end to tidy it up. Coming around, sending it. He felt that understeer on the first one. The next one, he's like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to huck it in here, pull some handbrake, and drop a gear. Let's see what he does on the donut. Coming around the barrel. Nice and tidy. Oh, dropped it. But something could have happened. Struggling to get the power back up there a little bit. Could have broken axle. That is something Travis was worried about, a D beating her axles, but here Shawn Donley comes around for the jump. Let's hear this thing staying flat. Fantastic. A little bit of angle. One more jump for Shawn. Nice and smooth. Perfectly flat jump. Nice and smooth. And now we got another one of those Peugeot 208s heading out there. Another front-wheel drive car. The second front-wheel drive car we're seeing tonight. Like I said, guys, you got these top couple cars. That thing's so loud I can barely hear myself. The top couple cars, you're going to see some big jumps, and they're going to be smooth, but we're going to see some wild cards as we get a little bit further back into the pack. I think we're not even through the first top 10 here. We've got 40 cars, so stay tuned. We got a lot more time left, probably another 30 minutes of this stream. We're going to be bringing you more jumps. It's like Michael Hooper and the rear-wheel drive Lexus is also pulling up next up on the road. He was just over here talking to us at the beginning of the stream, scoping out the jumps, kind of doing a little bit of eyeing up the situations. He told us he's going to be sideways everywhere. So I think that's going to be quite exciting. Again, another one of these front-wheel drives here. Michael Arsenault in the Peugeot 208 is just about to start here. We're going to listen for that launch control. Rolled up kind of on the inside of the corner there, so it'll be interesting to see. We've seen some people line up on the high side of the wall there to give themselves a little bit more room to lock up for that hairpin entering the infield, but he's lined up nice and tidy. Not sure if they know that they're allowed to do that, so a little bit more room here to breathe. Got some people out there in the infield. Got some media out there watching the donut. There it is. He's launch control, maybe. There it is. Got some launch control going. There it is. A little bit of wheel spin in the front wheel drive. Coming around the corner, entering the infield. Let's see if he handbrakes or just hucks it in. Okay, maybe a little bit of handbrake. Saw that three-wheeling action going on. Nice and wide coming in. He's lifting that rear tire, three-wheeling. There it is, and out for the donut. This is tricky in the front wheel, especially with that bank turn. I mean, you got 20, 30 degrees angle there. You got to go up. It's not just a regular donut to accomplish. There it is, nice smooth jump. Here Michael's coming around. I'll let you guys hear the audio. Beautiful, on the rev limiter all the way into the bank corner. Another jump here. Michael, no stranger to the front wheel drive, staying flat. Big nosedive and a big hop there at the end on the finish. I think these jumps are going to get a little bit more wild. Hooper, who's up next here in the Lexus in the rear wheel drive, is going to be sideways. He's warming up his tires and brakes. This car is loud. I'm going to try to capture some of that audio for you guys, but I barely can hear myself when Hooper's out there. Quiet off the throttle, but once he's on throttle, this thing is screaming. He's going to be sideways everywhere, but maybe not jumping so much. We'll see. He said these jumps are kind of designed for these Lexuses to nosedive. So they did have 5 of these Lexuses. Hooper, running River City Rally, rents these cars out. So if you want to learn to rally, come to Dirtfish. We'll teach you rear-wheel drive in a BRZ, and then we can send you over to Hooper, and you can rent one of these Lexuses and be out there just like him, sideways on the stages. One of our students, Rich O'Healy, is going to be out here in a second. He's a longtime Dirtfish alumni. One of my coworkers, an instructor at Dirtfish, Michelle Miller, is actually co-driving for Richo and the Lexus. We'll see them out here in a minute as well. Again, you guys can do this. We teach people to do this 7 days a week. It is expensive. I'm not going to lie, everything motorsports is expensive, but it's worth it. So Hooper is lined up again, lined up on the higher side of the wall there. Get himself a little bit of room for that hairpin, but with that rear wheel drive, you may not need as much room. You can just kind of put your foot to the floor, drop the clutch. I'm sure the donuts might potentially be the best donut we've seen. So here he's revving it a little bit, getting ready to go. Hooper's revving it up with Claudia, his co-driver in there. There he is, entering the infield. Nice slide coming in. He said he's going to be sideways. Let's see it here, Hooper. There it is. He's already sideways, entering the corner. That's what we're looking for. The crowd's going crazy. Tire smoke out there. He's entering again, hucking it in, drifting all the way through. He's got that sequential transmission in there, grabbing gears, and here's the donut on the bank turn. This is going to be interesting. Tidy, nice and tidy to start. A little oval shaped there, and then tidy on the exit to line up for the jump. Good strategy by Hooper. Hopefully you guys can still see through all that tire smoke. He broke for the jump. Hooper, let's see it. Don't break for this jump. Stay flat. Stay flat. Nice drift there. There it is. Almost to the outside of the jump. He broke for it a little bit, but still got a teeny bit of air. We actually saw Hooper go sideways onto the jump at Ohio 2 events ago and land basically backwards. You can check that out on some of our other channels. You may have seen it. It went completely viral. He came around the corner with a bit of angle, flicked back the other way, went over the jump with about 45 degrees of angle, spun around backwards, and then he crossed the finish line in reverse, only to take home the open 2-wheel drive win for the weekend at the end of the rally. Again, this is stage 9 out of 16. Still a few more stages to go tomorrow to finish off the rally. 101 miles total this weekend. We're just about halfway done with the distance, but we still have 7 more stages to go tomorrow. I think my math's accurate there. So we got Seamus Burke and Gary, the co-driver, out there, both from Ireland. Great to see them out. Gary drives quite a bit as well in an Escort. We just talked to Gary earlier in the stream. You may have seen him if you've been here the whole time. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. We're here in Newport, Tennessee at Newport Speedway. The fans are still pouring in. A little bit of dust now, maybe some tire smoke from Hooper. You know, Seamus used to have a, I believe, Roush Yates NASCAR V8 in this thing, but talking to Gary, they were saying they had to change the tires every 10 miles last year when they were running the V8. So now they've gone down to a V6, which still has adequate power with the rear-wheel drive Escort. You know, it's great to see a 1970s car out here with modern technology. And he's lining up. I'm guessing we're going to see some sideways action here from Seamus as well. So he's revving that. There it is. Nice and loud V6. Keeping it tidy, entering the infield. Coming around the corner. Nice drift there, sending it around. Keeping it tidy though, not going too hard. He's time conscious here, just enough drift to keep it tidy. There he goes, coming around for the donut here, finding his way around for that barrel. Gonna be interesting there. There it is. Hitting that angle, you can see that corner really dug in from that. Travis did say he was worried about D-beads on that, so I wonder if Seamus, we heard a noise, but could have just been hitting the tarmac. Here he comes around the jump. The first big jump, hopefully hits it flat. Decent jump by Seamus. Working the brakes, keeping it tidy. He's definitely keeping an eye on his time for this one. And he broke for the final jump there to cross the finish line. There he goes. Seamus Burke in the Mark II Escort with the V6, no longer the V8. Still loud, still fast, but they can make the tires last more than 10 miles. Maybe 12 to 15 now with the V6. So here we go, Chris Sear and the limited two-wheel drive. Chris is chasing the limited two-wheel drive championship this weekend, so he's got to play it smart. He's got to finish 4th place overall in the limited two-wheel drive class, or win the power stage. If he wins the power stage and finishes 4th, he wins the championship, or if he wins 3rd overall in the limited two-wheel drive class, he will lock up that championship. He said he's been chasing this. This is his childhood dream, so it's great to see Chris out here. He missed the last event. Not sure exactly why, but he's here now. He's just got to beat Henry Tabor, who we'll see out here in a little bit as well. Henry had some great jumps. I'm guessing, though, Chris, he's got those Olin suspension on there. He's got that championship in the back of his mind, but he's also, it's that internal struggle. You see those fans, you see the lights. Do you send it over the jump? I'm guessing he's going to play it smart. That childhood dream of getting that championship. We'll see him keep it nice and tidy here. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. We're here in Newport, Tennessee at the Speedway for stage 9 of the rally. 7 more stages to go tomorrow after this one. There he goes. Pretty quiet compared to Seamus Burke. It's a hard car to follow with the Escort. He's got his city lights on, not running his headlights. Don't really need them here in the stadium. Massive amount of 3-wheel in there. There he goes. Looks like he might have put some tarmac tires on too. Looks like bigger rims than gravel tires. 3-wheeling all the way through. Coming around for this donut. This is going to be interesting for Chris in that front-wheel drive thing. Massive 3-wheeling going into that. Driving around, keeping it tidy. Dropping the clutch, going up the hill. Nice small jump there. Coming around the corner. This thing's quiet, so I'm just going to talk right through the jump here. Chris here going high on the bank. Diving back in. Going to stay flat. There it is. A little lift, but not bad. Carried good speed coming out of that. And a little slide coming out. And there is his next jump. Sounded like a harder landing on that one. Got Kevin Allen in the regional rally coming around here, heading over to the start. Chris has got some tire smoke. It looks like he's maybe got some rallycross tires going on there. Great to see again. For those of you just joining us, we're here in Tennessee for round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. We are live at the Newport Speedway, streaming via our Teradek 5G mobile backpack, the Prism. They just came out with a new model, the Jetpack. This thing can put together 8 different cell phone modems, 8 SIM cards in there, bond those networks together, even throw on a wireless network, even plug in an Ethernet cable. Gives all those options together. These things can stream anywhere. We took this thing to Africa. I streamed in Kenya at the WRC rounds for hours. We were streaming in Ohio. We've streamed all over the place, and now we're here in Tennessee. Kind of the middle of nowhere. I'm kind of from the middle of nowhere, so I feel like I can say that. The locals, wherever you are in the middle of nowhere, don't like hearing it's the middle of nowhere, but we're out here in Tennessee. About 4 hours from Nashville. Still a decent turnout. A couple thousand fans up in the stands there watching the action. So here's Kevin Allen lining up in the yellow Impreza. This is the old US-UK racing car. If you've been watching rally for 15 plus years, you've seen this thing around quite a bit. So here it comes, entering the infield. Keeping it tidy to start. Nice and loud. Maybe a little bit of 3-wheeling. Playing it safe around the outside. Here we go. Coming around for the donut. Keeping it tighty, keeping it real tighty. And now he's got to power up the bank. Hitting the first jump. There's the first jump right there. Nice and tighty. He was coming around the corner here for the second jump. Let's see it. Kevin, stay flat. Stay flat. There it is. You can hear a little bit of that rev limiter. He's coming around the corner and into the jump. Staying flat. Next jump also staying flat. A little bit more nosedive on that one. Great to see, guys. It's going to get pretty interesting here. Going to be some wild cards towards the back of the pack, the middle of the pack. We got Mike Hurst out here in the Ford Capri with the 302 V8. Again, another rare car. I keep talking about the differences in cars. We saw the Renault Clio. We saw the Hyundais. We've seen the Subaru. We've seen the Skoda. All sorts of cars you can get in America. To my understanding, Mike Hurst, this was kind of one of those cool cars as he was growing up. Always wanted to have one. Put a crate 302 V8 in that thing. Plenty of power. This thing is always sideways. Mike Hurst is always a contender, not only for the two-wheel drive regional, but the overall regional as well. He did say he's kind of got that Eastern Championship in his back pocket here and at LSPR, so guessing he's going to play it safe on these jumps. He wants to bring home that championship at the end of the season. And a beautiful car, too. I mean, it's the Ford Capri, classic. With the bright orange. He's got the cool 5-spoke rims. I don't know if those were stock on this thing, but to find those in the proper size to fit rally tires is great. So he is lined up. This thing is quiet at the moment, but as soon as he starts going, this thing rips. So here he goes, getting ready at the Newport Speedway. I'm guessing we're going to see a little bit of sideways action here on the infield. There it is. There it is. Classic V8 noises out of Mike Hurst's Capri. I'm going to point the mic out there, see if you guys can hear this thing. I think everyone and their dad can appreciate the V8 noises from this thing. Proper Ford Capri. I believe these were insanely popular in, I believe, like South Africa of all places when they came out. Really cool. Keeping it tidy on the jump. Hopefully we see him stay flat here. Sometimes it'll drift this thing. Let's see. Try to capture some of that V8 noise here. So he did lock it up just before the jump. He's playing it safe, not trying to break anything. He's trying to bring that Ford Capri home and that championship. And there he is. Mike Hurst has finished stage 9. Here we go. Here's Rich O'Healy with one of my co-workers, Michelle Miller, a Dirtfish instructor, co-driving for Richo. Richo, one of our Dirtfish alumni. You know, Richo always tells the story. He wanted to come to Dirtfish. He wanted to get into rally, and he got a bunch of friends together. And when it came time to sign up, all of his friends bailed. So Richo said, you know, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to do this. This is something I want to do. And he came to Dirtfish just wanting to try it. And now he's a couple years in to rallying. And even Michelle jumped in with him and has been a co-driving for him for a couple of years. So if you've always wanted to try a rally, we get people coming all the time, all ages, from 16 all the way up to, I've worked with a few students almost in their 80s. You know, it's not polite to ask people their age, but sometimes they tell me that they're 77 years old. They wanted to try a rally, so they come to Dirtfish. We provide that opportunity. It is such a unique place in America, located just about 35 minutes outside of Seattle. You can fly into Seattle. We got a hotel 3 miles away. We got waterfalls 3 miles away, taller than Niagara Falls. A lot of really cool things to check out. If you've seen the TV show Twin Peaks, that is where it was filmed. We got the smokestack. A lot of history at Dirtfish. Really cool experience. Come check that out. Again, we got those rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs we can teach you in, or those all-wheel drive Subaru STIs. We're running classes 7 days a week. Give us a call. We'll teach you how to rally. Richo, revving it up. He's got the pink wheels, the pink logos on there. And here it is, nice and loud. I'm guessing we're going to see some sideways here. Richo plays it smart, but he's mobbing this race, so I'm sure he's going to want to put on a little bit of a show. So there we go. A little bit of three-wheeling in the rear-wheel drive. Nice and loud Lexus there. There it it is, coming around. Now he's got to do that donut with the bank turn. This is going to be interesting. Nice and tidy to start. That bank is throwing everyone off. It's not as easy as it looks. There we go. Nice smooth jump there. Richo coming around. He learned this at Dirtfish. We taught him just about everything he knows except for skydiving. Here he comes, staying flat on the jump, hopefully, Richo. There it is, staying flat. Richo even turned on his left blinker just to let us know that he's going left there on this oval track. Kept it properly flat. He knew we were here. Always loves putting on a show for the fans. Great to see Richo Healy and Michelle Miller out here competing. There we go. Madeline Tabor heading out in a Rally 3 as well. So there's Richo and Michelle. Still got the lights on. Let's get a honk. See if we can get them to honk. Nothing. They must not have seen me. I'll keep trying. I'll get somebody to honk here, guys. Just for my own personal excitement. Madeline Tabor in the Rally 3. Also been out to Dirtfish a few times. Great to see Madeline out here. The Tabor family, she's actually competing against her brother and her dad, who are out here as well. Henry Tabor, her little brother, was out here. They did this head-to-head last night. So they just ran the oval track where one started on each side. And Madeline got to compete against her brother, which was awesome. We posted Henry, her brother's onboard from this stage last night on a couple of our channels. So you can see that on there. He was wearing a bit of a helmet cam. So Madeline's lined up and getting ready to go. It's interesting. She's maybe 10, 15 feet behind the start line. Not sure if that was someone instructed her there. There is kind of a secondary, kind of a tarmac type line there, but I think the start line is a few feet ahead. Maybe she's got a tactic. Maybe they're going to time it out, launch early. I don't know how that works. There's always some gray areas in the rules here. People find new ways. That's all sorts of competition. You got to figure out the rules. Nice launch control there. This thing is loud. There it is. Madeline Tabor launching with Sophia McKee. The sequential transmission chirping. We might see some backfires and some flames as they're coming around the straightaway here. Sounds like some mild anti-lag going on. Don't need a ton here on the tarmac. Let's see this donut. It's going to be quite interesting. Coming around the donut on the tarmac there. Kind of tough to see behind that flag, but going a little bit wide. Seems like people oval it for the first half and then stay tidy on the second half to line up better for that jump. You really got to line up for that straightaway. I'm guessing Madeline's going to stay flat here. Diving into the inside there. A lot of tarmac experience for Madeline. There it is, staying flat. You can hear some rev limiter going over the jump there. And the last jump for Madeline, nice and smooth, proper jump level there. It's going to continue to get more and more interesting here, guys, on these jumps. We got Camden Sheridan lined up. I believe Camden is from Michigan as well. We see him race snowdrift quite a bit. Great to see him out here competing. He said it was his first time at this rally. He was having the time of his life on some of these tight, twisty roads. Had a little bit of a moment and some foliage when we caught him at the end of stage 5, maybe. A lot of stages. Hard to keep track of all the math out here, but Camden is lined up in that beautiful hatchback Impreza right now at the start line. Looks like he lined up at the proper start line this time. Madeline was a little bit far behind. Still probably put a good time down, though. Madeline stayed flat on those jumps. If I had to guess, I would say we're going to see some wild stuff here as we get a little bit further down the line. Some people get excited. You know, if I was out here, I'd be willing to sacrifice 10, 15 seconds, get a little bit more sideways, hopefully have enough spares to hit this jump properly and put on a show for the fans. Again, for those of you just joining us here on the Dirtfish Rally channel, we are Dirtfish Rally School, Dirtfish Media, out here for the ARA National Championship Round 7 Overmountain Rally at Newport Speedway in Newport, Tennessee. Got a bunch of FPV drones swarming the cars out there like flies, all around, front, rear, doing donuts around the cars. There we go, Camden has entered the stage. Nice and tidy on the entrance there, coming around the infield here. Keeping it tidy. Not bad. Keeping it tidy. Camden, you might need to get a new exhaust. This thing's a little bit quiet. We can see some stuff. Oh, no, there's some smoke. We're seeing some smoke, guys. Maybe that's why it was so quiet. He's got to do this donut, but I'm not sure what that smoke was about. Was that a tire? Did something catch? Oil. It is looking a little bit blue. Not ideal. Mild on the jump. It sounds a little weird. We're going to see if we hear, smell, see anything on this jump right now. The smoke has stopped, but that was pretty interesting. Let's see the jump. Interesting. Hearing a lot of vacuum noise coming off the front. Not sure if that was a factor, any of the smoke, but yeah, there was definitely some interesting smoke there for a second. That cleared up right away. Could have just been something getting lodged in the tires, maybe one of the tires locked up. Car seems to be running now fine. All right, next car is lining up there. This is one of the Przybylkowskis. I can't see from afar if it's Ryan or James. I believe one of them was leading the regional rally going into the stage. Good battle for the regional rally. I believe the top 3 cars were all within a minute. I'm going to pay much a closer eye on that battle tomorrow for the last 7 stages of the rally, starting tomorrow morning here in Newport, Tennessee. We'll be at the Speedway here again in the morning for Park Expose. If you're local, come check it out. So Przybylkowski's last year, they did this head-to-head, and the brothers actually started and raced against each other. They went first. It was kind of a free-for-all, they said. You could race against whoever you want because we're all here tonight for the same amount of time. Everyone is locked in, parked for May on the inside of the field. So the brothers kicked off the stage last year here and both put on an amazing show, set the tone, hit the jumps ridiculously flat. Jumps might be a little bit more thought out this year, a little more shaped. Travis Pastrana hopped in one of the skid steers yesterday and actually reshaped the jump there in front of the fans to be able to make it more of a launch ramp and less of a quarter pipe. There we go. And into the infield they go. Coming around the inside, nice and tidy. Got to keep that lead in the regional rally. A little bit of understeer. Sometimes you got to drive through that. Oh, might have missed a gear coming out of the corner there. Had to check up for a second. Coming around the next corner here and into the donut. There's the straightaway. Again, maybe missed a gear or something there. It was interesting, seeing just a little patience on the shifts on the straightaway. Nice oval shape for the first half and tidy on the second. Oh, back up the high end of the bank. Tidy jump. Let's see it. Stay flat here. I know you're leading the regional, but the fans want a show. There we go, giving the people what they want, staying flat on the jump. It's awesome to see. And the next jump in front of all the fans, nice and smooth. Not bad, not bad. Next car out there, Gabe Jacobson. Yesterday, we talked to Gabe just before he headed out onto the stage, and he was saying, I really just don't want to break an axle out here. And he broke an axle as he was pulling onto the start line and had to kind of one-wheel drive this thing out there last night. So he has that opportunity to kind of redeem himself here tonight. So hopefully, Gabe, you send it on some of these jumps. Hopefully you're watching this in the future, and you're watching this because you sent it on the jumps. So we'll see here how Gabe does. Gabe driving the Rally Build Impreza. Lined up at the start line here any second. They're about to take off. Again, for those of you just joining us, we're here for round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. You're watching this on the Dirtfish Rally channels. Dirtfish Rally is a rally school out of Seattle, Washington. Just about 30 minutes from SeaTac Airport. If you want to learn to rally, fly in, drive over to Snoqualmie, Washington. We got hotels a couple miles away. We got waterfalls taller than Niagara, about 3 miles away. Lots of cool sights and things to see. Bring your whole family, bring your friends. If your friends don't want to rally, they can go look at waterfalls, and you can do the exciting, fun stuff. Drive a rally car. We got rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs. We got all-wheel drive Subaru STIs. We got over 25 school cars. We're running classes 7 days a week, like 360 days a year. Sometimes you have to be lucky to get the spot and the date you want. Book early. Check it out, dirtfish.com. We launched part of our 2026 calendar. Lock in your 2025 pricing. Check it out. Gabe Jacobson in the infield here, putting on a little bit of show, rocking all 4 axles tonight. Keeping it nice and tidy. Not the loudest car, but it sounds great. Sounds like it's muffled just in such a way that it sounds amazing. There it is, coming in for the donut. That banked donut. It's almost like the organizers did this to trick people and set them up for something interesting. Here it is, the first jump for Gabe. Kept it tighty. Nice backfire midair. He's lining up for this one. He's going to stay flat here. Here it is. Not completely flat, but I'll take it. Good job, Gabe. Working the brakes on the bank there. Going around for the final jump of the stage. Checked up a little bit. Playing it smart. Got to enter day 3 tomorrow. Again, 7 more stages to go. Entering the stage right now, someone you may have heard, Viv Campbell, Def Leppard. He's got the Def Leppard logos on there. So to my understanding, Vivian found out about Rally a couple years ago there was some sort of situation where a bunch of people got sick for a few years. He was looking for something to do since they weren't touring. He found Rally, found a new love, and when he's not touring, he's competing and training in Rally. He's got this all-wheel drive Mitsubishi Mirage out there. I believe this is going to be a homologated RC2 car at some point, but right now it's an open 4-wheel drive car. We talked to him on the end of stage 5, I believe, and he'd bent one of the lateral links, and he was kind of crab walking out, and he said he was having the time of his life out there. So great to see people, find the sport. Maybe not. I don't even know if he knew about it. He found the sport and was like, wow, that looks fun. I want to do that. Hopefully he found it out from one of the Dirtfish Rally streams, maybe one of the Dirtfish videos we put out. We're bringing all the action out here, guys. So here's Vivian Campbell entering the stage right now in the Mitsubishi Mirage with the Def Leppard logos all over the car. So cool to see. Like I said, you guys can learn to do this. You want to be like Vivian Campbell? You want to learn to rally? Check us out, dirtfish.com. Here we go. Revs are up. Entering the stage, first hairpin into the infield. Little stutter there as it gripped up on the tarmac. There's all the light bars are on. Thing sounds great. Little 3-wheeling coming in right off the bat. Lots of angulation there with the geometry for this open 4-wheel drive car. Good anti-lag going there. Sounds beautiful. Let's see, going to be an interesting donut here as well. Lots of anti-lag coming in. That's what that pops are. Basically, it's the turbo kind of going opposite, stopping, starting, keeping the boost up, so that when you go back to that throttle, you got full boost. So there's Vivian staying flat over that jump. Let's hope to see flat on this one as well. I'm going to point the mic. Hopefully you guys can hear the exhaust going high on the bank. Nice and tidy. Nice and tidy. Staying flat. Final jump of the stage for Viv Campbell. Awesome. Great to see Viv Campbell out here with co-driver Michael Hordyke. Very experienced co-driver. Keeping Viv wrangled in. Really cool. Beautiful car out here with the Def Leppard stickers all over it, even on the roof. Next up, looks like potentially Andrew Williamson, who I believe is in the top 3 for the regional overall as well, lining up at the start line there. Again, starting on the inside a little bit. Interesting, some people started high on the wall, some people started tight. So Williamson is lined up. Like I said, the regional rally, the top 3, such a close battle. I believe they're all within 1 minute. We're going to be keeping an eye on that battle tomorrow. Thank you for joining us again here on the Dirtfish Rally channels. We are in Newport, Tennessee. There we go. The fans are starting to cheer a little bit. Everyone's getting a little bit more excited. We're going to see some interesting jumps. Again, if you've come here to see some wild car action, you've come to the right place. We're going to see some interesting jumps. Henry Tabor's lined up next. He had some really good jumps yesterday. I'd imagine he'll stay flat as well. Andrew Williamson has entered the stage. Coming around, got the yellow headlights nice and tidy. Got to keep that overall podium in mind for the regional. Nice and tidy around there. A little bit of rotation. Feeling it. Coming around for the donut. We haven't really seen anyone hit that donut perfectly yet. It's been very interesting. Oh. Almost. He went the wrong way. Not sure how they're going to judge that. He went the wrong way around the donut. That is interesting. He still went around the donut. They should give him credit there. I'm not sure he gained any time. Felt like he slowed down to check himself. Here's the jump. I think they should let him get away with it. He stayed flat over the jump and gave us a couple of horn honks. And here's the final jump. There it is. Nice, with some rev limiter to boot. There we go. Next up, Henry Tabor entering the stage in the Ford Fiesta. Henry took home his first overall limited two-wheel drive win at Ojibwe Forest Rally Round 6 just a couple of weeks ago. It's great to see him out here battling. 3 members of the Tabor family out here competing. I spoke with Madeline and Henry's dad earlier. I said, Mark Tabor, 3rd in the Tabor lineup. He said, I'm going to have to do something about that. So I'm sure he's going to put on a big push on tomorrow to try to take some time out of his daughter and son who are out there competing against him. Great to see. This is such a family sport. Speaking of family, if you want you and your family to learn how to rally, we can teach you. We got enough cars, we got enough roads, over 315 acres at Dirtfish Rally School. We teach people to drive rally cars 7 days a week, 360 some days a year, just a few days off. And on those days, we drive ourselves. We don't teach people to do on those days. We do it ourselves. So here we go. Henry Tabor putting on a show, I'm sure. He's got that helmet cam going. Again, we posted his helmet cam footage from last night. You can check that out on our channels. He hit the jump so hard that his visor came down and actually blocked the camera. Pretty funny to see. Henry's always one of the quickest to send us the onboards. If you're a competitor listening to this in the future, you can send us your onboards to get on our socials, on our videos, so we can help educate more people on the sport. That's what we want to do at Dirtfish Rally, is grow the sport, teach people to rally, show them the way, show them the path of what true happiness is all about out here in a rally car. So Henry Tabor, something happened there. He went a little bit wide to start. Henry's coming around now. I'm sure he's going to keep it tidy in the infield. He's no stranger to tarmac. He used to race open wheel, done a lot of karting. The whole family's done a lot of karting. And there Henry coming around the corner, keeping it tidy. The donut's going to be interesting for the front wheel drive. Here it goes. Henry said he was a little worried about these roads to start, but once he got in the groove today, felt right at home. This is one of the tightest, twistiest rallies in all of the championship here in Tennessee. This is a super special, not a great representation of what the roads are like, but a great representation of rally for the fans. And here's Henry coming around the jump. A little bit of slide there. Hopefully stays flat. Little checkup he learned from last night after his visor went down from that jump. And final jump for Henry. A little bit more jump there. Great air. Awesome to see Henry out here. The other Prisbokowski, I believe this one's James and Ryan was first. I think Ryan was leading. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, guys. A lot of family sport out here. Like I said, the Tabor's got 3, the Prisbokowski's got 2, and they're all competing for podiums out here. We got a lot of Dirtfish alumni that have come out here competing, different family members from all sorts of stuff. Speaking of family, Madeline, you're out here. We're live right now, Madeline. Madeline Tabor, you just watched Henry out there. How was that?
It was so cool. It's so cool to be able to watch my family members, and especially fun stuff like this. And I did it, so I'm able to give them little feedback of how it went and stuff.
We haven't talked to anyone since the donut happened. What was it like out there trying to do that donut on the bank turn?
It was hard. Yeah. It's hard to do it on a multi-level surface, and I'm not very experienced in the donut world. Okay. So kind of figured it out. Got some words from Javier and Tony. They're like, going without speed, and I was like, okay. Kind of figured it out. Didn't go as well I wanted, but I didn't really care about that. I just wanted to do the jumps again. So, and that was great. So that worked out.
Awesome. I mean, it was great. Seeing it stay flat over the jumps was awesome, and that car flies smooth.
Oh, so good. Every time. I love my jumps.
Well, come back to Dirtfish. We'll do a donut day. We'll work on that. I'll teach you how to drive some of those, and I want to do some donuts as well. So
I'll be there.
Awesome. See you, Madeline. Thank you. Madeline Tabor out there just drove the stage, now out here watching her brother. Her dad's about to be out there in a couple more cars. Great to see. So here's, I believe, James Prisbokowski. I believe Vilcos Motorsports, if I'm saying that right, is their team. Out here putting on a show. Car sounds great. A believe he's got Ethan Curtis there in the passenger seat with him, very experienced co-driver. Everyone knows Ethan. There it is. Almost went the wrong way. Which way is it going? Oh, we went the wrong way. Again, I'm not sure what the ruling is going to be on these wrong ways for the donut. But they made it around. Made it around. Lefts, rights, who knows. Rally is, we're used to turning different ways, and on this oval track, it throws all of us off. So here's the jump for Przybylkowski and Ethan Curtis. Nice and tidy jump. One more jump around the back. There it is, some honking, settling it up just before the last jump there, the end of stage 9 for the Przybylkowskis. Now we got Mike Turpak in the Ford Escort Cosworth, the Group A replica, cleanest car in the rally here this weekend. You pop the hood on that thing, I'm sure he cleans it at service completely. Everything is so tidy on that car. The tribute wrap on that thing, you know, I tell Mike every time I see him, this is my favorite car out here, and it's so clean. He does a great job of keeping it clean. And I talked to him at the end of one of the stages today, which you can see on all of our channels. We put the interview online, and he told me he was thinking of me when he put that wrap on the car, which was epic because he knew I appreciated it that much. You know, sometimes you just got to put it out there and tell people what you like in the world, and then people can kind of replicate and make you a lot happier. So when I told him I love this car, I love the classicness of it, he went out and wrapped it. I'll take a little bit of credit. He said it was me. I'm sure he wanted to do that anyways, but maybe my words just gave him that little extra bump to wrap the car, to kind of do that tribute of the 90s Group A rally car. In the Causey, he's lined up. Now, I wonder how much of a replica specific this is. I wonder what he has for modern tech in this. I'm going to have to do a deep dive on this car sometime. Mike, if you're listening to this in the future, get a hold of me. We'll come to your shop, check out this car, do a deep dive here, see what ECU, see what motor you're running in that thing. We want to know, is it modern tech? Is it classic 90s tech in this thing? I would have to guess it's modern tech just with how good this thing runs. I know those Group A cars had issues once in a while, but were awesome when they could keep them running. I don't think he's ever had any issues with this car because he keeps it tidy and clean. He's coming through, got that classic wing on the back there. Mike keeping it tidy. There it is, playing it smart. His times have been looking pretty good this weekend, but out here, a car like this, you got to keep it tidy. Keep those times in mind. Oh, I think everyone's kind of finding their way. Not everyone has the opportunity to watch it there. Oh, big slide coming around the bank. Got to complete that donut all the way around. Might have to find reverse. Quick reverse. Getting it back around there. There he goes. And there he goes. Back to the jump. First jump for Mike Turpak. Nice and tidy. Let's see a flat one here, Mike. Nice little flame and backfire there as he's grabbing a gear coming around the bank. Stay flat, stay flat. Nice and tidy jump there in the Causey. Coming around the bank turn, a little bit of sliding action. Dodging the barrel, tidying it up for the final jump of the night. Mike Turpak wrapping up day 2 for himself. Next up, we got the Nonax out here in the BRZ. Always great battle to see them in contention for the limited 2-wheel drive regional. I believe they're battling with Corey McKenzie in the Nissan Sentra. Corey's very fast in that Sentra, but the Nonax have many podiums, many overall wins for the limited 2-wheel drive in this BRZ. So they are lined up here. Getting ready. Seen a lot of dust over there. As more people are hitting these jumps, they're spreading the dirt out onto the track. The jumps may be getting a little bit more lit, but the landings are definitely taking a beating. For those of you just joining us again, we are at round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. We're here in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. We're watching this on Dirtfish Rally channels. We are a rally school just outside of Seattle, Washington, located in Snoqualmie, Washington. We teach people to drive rally cars 7 days a week. You can do this. This is just a super special. There's over 100 other miles of stages this weekend that they're driving out in the middle of nowhere. Tight, twisty roads, jumps, dips, cliffs, all sorts of stuff. Real roads, real cars, real people doing the sport. Now, there's no other sport that you can drive where we legally shut down roads And you can run stop signs once the road is obviously legally shut down. So it's pretty cool to see being part of this, that they're real roads. These aren't racetracks. You know, this is a racetrack here at the moment, but this is just a super special, and this is less than 1% of what these cars are all racing tonight. You can see more of this on all of our channels on Dirtfish and dirtfish.com. So the Nonax are just about to get started here in the rear-wheel drive BRZ. I haven't seen any times here in the last little bit, so it'll be interesting to see. I know they're battling for that limited two-wheel drive podium in the regional. Are they going to play it safe, or are they going to put on a show? We're about to find out. Stay tuned. Any second now, they're about to kick this off. Again, we're streaming via our Teradek mobile Prism 5G backpack. They just came out with a new model of this, the Jetpack. Can put together 8 different modems, 8 SIM cards to bond those networks together so you can go live anywhere. We took one of these things to Africa earlier this year to do some streaming out in the middle of nowhere in the Sahara. So here are the Nonax coming around on the infield in the rear-wheel drive. A little bit of drift action, keeping it tidy. Very aware of their times, not trying to get too wild. There they go. And now into the donut. These rear-wheel drives, you know, it's a little bit easier to pull off a donut there, but this bank turn is tricky. Let's see. Decent, decent. Oh. Luckily, no rear wheel, no reverse needed there. Nice and tidy, actually. He slowed down a little bit, but kept it tidy, got out of there quick. Nice and smooth. Keeping it low on the bank. Let's see the big jump. Keep it flat. Big lockup, going for speed. You can't accelerate unless your tires are on the ground. But when you've only got 2 tires keeping you moving, you got to keep those things on the ground to keep accelerating. So nice, tidy jump there to finish off for the Nonax. Next up, looks like Mark Tabor got his hazards on. Again, you know, he told me not to say it, but he's 3rd in the lineup. At least on the road, I haven't seen the times. Mark could be putting some time down on Henry. They always have some good battles. Mark said he's going to do something about that, so he'll probably put a little bit of a push on tomorrow to try to take some time out of Henry. Great to see the family sport out here. I think all the Tabors have been out to Dirtfish many, many times. Sometimes we have rally crosses out there. And I think last time we had a rally cross, Mark, I talked to him and he said, we only have 3 cars here, and that was a record low number of cars the Tabors have out competing. Great to see them. Mark has actually got, I think, 205 rallies down under his belt. I believe Oregon Trail Rally this year was his 200th rally, which is awesome to see. I believe he's been rallying since about 1998, and now he's got kids that he had after he started rallying that are now competing against him. Such an amazing thing to see, something we can all aspire to do, find our passion, build a family, and have your family do your passion with you. So he's lined up high on the bank. Maybe that experience has come into play here. He knows that getting higher on the bank is going to make that hairpin a little bit easier for him. Again, if you're just joining us, thank you. We are here in Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. We've been live for a while via our Teradek backpack for round 7 of the ARA National Championship. Mark Tabor has entered the stage in the front-wheel drive Ford Fiesta limited 2-wheel drive car. Here he comes, nice and quiet. He's still got the hazards on. I don't know if that's a technique or a strategy. Keeping people guessing. Is he going left? Is he going right? Is there something wrong? Not sure. He's keeping it tidy. There he goes, coming around. This donut's going to be interesting in the front-wheel drive. I think he's playing it safe. He knows you can't win the rally on this stage, but famously you can lose it, which we've seen people do before. So some people out here playing the long game, keeping it tidy. Very tidy on the jump there. He might have an issue. He's not pushing too hard, too deep into the throttle, or he's just playing it safe. Here's the jump. Still getting a little bit of air. There we go. And final jump for Mark Tabor. He missed the jump. Not sure. Skip the jump, missed the jump. Not sure what happened. We'll take it. Corey McKenzie in the Nissan Sentra out there. Great to see so many unique cars. We've been talking about unique cars the whole stream. Corey is out there in this beautiful white Nissan Sentra. Very light car in contention for the limited 2-wheel drive regional overall here. He's looking for the start line. There we go. He's lining up high on the bank. He knows. Corey's got a lot of experience. He's won limited two-wheel drive a few times. So he's lined up high on the bank to get that going. Hearing some clapping happening in the fans, from the fans in the stands out there. Again, everyone, thank you for joining us here in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway for round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. There we go. All right, Corey is lined up. Looks like some of the fans are getting a new angle here. Everyone's maybe lining up to see the jump a little bit different. How long have we been live? I feel like I've been talking for about 2 hours straight now. Yeah, Ryan, the cameraman over here, is giving me either the peace sign or the 2 hours, I think is what he's giving me. But we've been live for 2 hours. If you've stuck through for all 2 hours of the stream, I thank you very much. We're trying to keep you entertained out here. We do coverage of rally all over the world. We got a team in Scotland this weekend. We got our team doing classes out in Seattle 7 days a week. And we're out here in Newport, Tennessee. Corey McKenzie has entered the stage in the Nissan Sentra, coming around, screaming, ripping in that thing. Front wheel drive, keeping it tidy, nice and light car. Lots of angulation there, three-wheeling around the corner a little bit. Thing sounds nice and smooth as well. There he goes. This donut's going to be interesting in the front wheel drive. Nice and tidy. He's going to just drive right around. He's had the opportunity to watch a lot of other people do this. Maybe not as successfully as he would have hoped. There we go. Nice smooth jump for Corey McKenzie. He's coming around. Going a little high on the bank. Get a little bit of understeer. Bringing it back. Stay flat. There we go. Sounds like maybe he popped out of gear when he landed because the rev limiter stayed on after he was back on the tarmac there. So a little nosedive made it work. Great work from Corey McKenzie. Yeah, an Impreza coming out here. Another Subaru. Oh, it's great. You used to see so many Subarus out here in the rally world in ARA. Back in the day, it was kind of almost 70-80% Subarus in the field, but we're getting a lot more unique cars as people have built more and more unique cars in America, imported cars from all over the world. We got such a diverse crowd out here in the ARA National Championship. It is an 8-round championship for the national events, but I think there's something like 30 regional rounds. So if one of the national rounds doesn't line up with where you live, there's plenty of regional rounds. You can check that out on ARA's website, American Rally Association. Check that out. Find out an event near you. Most of the time, spectating is free. It's one of the beauties of the sport. You go out into the middle of nowhere, you wait for hours and hours, and you see cars come by for 15, 20 seconds, screaming through the woods, getting some air, sliding, throwing dirt and gravel all around. And then eventually you get hooked, and you find yourself here competing as well. So I believe we are coming towards the end here. Not sure how many cars we got left. Looks like Bill Tung is lined up as well in the Fiesta next up on the stage. Another Dirtfish alumni. I'd say almost a quarter of the field out here. I recognize the students, and there's some that I don't recognize. We teach almost 3,000 people a year on average how to rally. We've been around for 15 years on October 1st when we opened up back in 2010. We might, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. If you made it this far in the stream, I feel like I can give you a little tip. We might have a secret sale coming up for our 15-year anniversary. Keep an eye out on October 1st. If you want to learn to rally, now's your chance to grab a great discount. That is not yet public, though, so if you're on the stream, that's exclusive to you. Be ready. Coming around here. Sounds like the naturally aspirated Impreza. A little bit of three-wheeling going around. Nice and tidy. A little squeal in there, dropped a gear. Now here's the donut. Interesting. Made it work. Going around, actually pretty quick. Nice little hop over the jump. Let's see it. Hopefully they stay flat here. I'll point the mic at the audio. Hear the car. Hard landing, decent jump. Sounded like a pretty hefty nosedive there. And final jump, another one. You lift. As soon as you lift, all that forward momentum kind of makes your nose dive. So your best bet most of the time is to stay flat. Maybe not all the way flat so you don't break an axle, but keep a little bit of that throttle on to keep that momentum going. You'd rather land a little bit rear heavy than a little bit front heavy. So we got Bill Tung in the Ford Fiesta, a Dirtfish alumni out here getting ready. Bill Tung is, he came out to Dirtfish, wanted to learn to rally, and now I think this has got to be almost his 7th or 10th rally or something. He's tried out a few different cars. He did a BRZ, did a Fiesta, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. We taught him to drive in a rear-wheel drive for a while, and then he kind of found himself at home in this Fiesta, and I think he's been in this thing for the past few events. Great to see Bill out here competing. So he is lined up, ready to go. Again, if you're just joining us, this is round 7 of the American Rally Association Championship Overmountain Rally in Newport, Tennessee. We are located at the Newport Speedway, and you are watching this on the Dirtfish Rally channels. We are a rally school based out of Seattle, teaching people to do this 7 days a week. They got some sort of chant going in the stands. Not sure what was going on there. I'd love to see a wave. Maybe next year we'll be able to max those stands out, sell out the tickets. If you're watching this now or watching this later in the future, come out here, get out here to Newport Speedway, get your tickets, get in the grandstands, start the wave. I'll be excited about it. Who doesn't love a good wave in the stands? We've got some people sitting on top of the motorhome. Can you see that, Ryan, over there? You zoom in on those folks. They got the view. Sitting in the middle. First hairpin, second jump, and the donut. They can see it all over there. So we go. Bill Tung is lined up, waiting for that countdown for his minute. Here we go. Bill Tung is about to enter. Not seeing another car lined up yet, though, but I think we should have a few other cars. I know we are down to about 40 cars going into the stage. We started the rally with about 51 cars. So we should have a few more here, but I don't see anyone lined up. Could be a time gap. We will see. Get ready, guys. Here, Bill Tung has entered the stage. There it is, coming around on the infield here. Nice rear lean on this thing. There it is, keeping it tidy all the way around. Nice and tidy there as well. Got that nice quiet exhaust on this thing. These Fiestas are quiet, but these are proper cars. See a lot of these things out here competing nowadays, all the way from the basic limited 2-wheel drive all the way up to the Rally 3 Fiesta and even into the Rally 2. Sounds like might have got something there. Maybe something's rubbing on the wheel. Sounds good now. Let's see if Bill keeps it flat. I'm going to point the mic at the audio here. Hopefully you can hear this thing. It's a little bit quiet of a car. Let's hear him hopefully stay flat. Nice jump, a little bit of plastic rubbing there. All right, looks like the next car has lined up. Niall Donley is competing. A little nosedive final jump there for Bill Tung. So Niall Donley is rolling up here. An Irishman in the Fiesta, or in the Impreza. Tripping over myself here talking for a few hours straight. But something interesting, Niall Donley used to compete 20 years ago consistently in rally, took 20 years off. And I believe this year is his first year back, or maybe he did one event last year, but I talked to him and I said, what brought you back? Why'd you stop? And he said, I thought I was done, but it's an addiction. You start rally, you get hooked, and then you're just going to compete for as long as you can. So he's back, competing consistently now. So Niall Donley in the Impreza, lined up here at the start line. Looks like we got a Nissan 240 lined up next, which will be interesting to see another rear-wheel drive car go through. But before that, we got Niall here in the Impreza, hopefully putting on a good show. A lot of experience, but took quite a gap break there. Took a couple leap years, I think some of those people call them, something like that. Again, thank you for joining us here, trying to keep you guys entertained, bring you the news, show you rally, what it's all about in America. If you can't make it out to these events, we try our best to bring you the best coverage we can from the stages, from the stadiums, wherever the rally's happening, we're there. And if you want to go that extra step, you want to learn even more about rally, you find a passion for WRC, you can check out Club Dirtfish, our head of media, David Evans and Colin Clark, going to all the WRC rounds in America. They got every WRC driver on speed dial. If there's something happening in the sport, they know about it. Check it out, Club Dirtfish. Be part of the story. Tell us what you want to see, and we'll make it happen. Join Club Dirtfish. You can tell us. You want to ask a driver a question? Join Club Dirtfish. Ask David or Colin on there what you want to know. They'll talk to the drivers, put it on a video, your questions answered. You get to drive the debate, choose what we cover. So here Niles lined up. A little bit of a delay. Maybe he got out there early, or maybe there's just some clock stuff going on. Sometimes there's some bigger gaps here. They had a 10-minute regroup to try to bunch them up and hold those minute gaps, but there was some delays. So there we go. Niall Donley has entered the stage. Nice launch. Not wasting any time. There he goes. Nice turbo STI out here for Niall Donley. No stranger to tarmac, I'm sure, being Irish. Nice and tidy. Just a little bit of rotation. Perfect amount of rotation there. Let's see the donut. We still haven't seen anyone hit this thing perfect. That bank turn is difficult. Little lockup coming in. Going high on the bank. Going back down. Tidy on the exit. Back to high on the bank for the first jump. Nice and tidy on the jump. Now he's coming around this corner here for the next big jump. Here it is. Niall Donley. Ooh, big nosedive, if you could hear that. Big dip there. Awesome to see, though. He stayed flat. Sounds like he almost hit the skid plate on the launch of it. So he broke there on the second one and actually kind of didn't work out in his favor. Sometimes you break a little bit extra in hopes that that's going to help your flying of a car, and it doesn't. So I believe this to be a Nissan 240 out there. Rear-wheel drive, so hopefully we'll see some drifting happening. I'm going to check the start order here as well, just to make sure I'm accurate with my car history. It is a Nissan rear-wheel drive 240 SX, 1991. Christopher Bershim, not sure if I'm saying that right. There he goes, wasting no time. Lined up mid-track there, but this 240 rear-wheel drive is going to be pretty interesting. Looks like we maybe got about 10 cars left. So here we go, the Nissan 240 SX, 1991. Sounded great exhaust-wise when he was doing some revving there. So let's see how this thing handles. Hopefully we see some drifting. These are a very popular drift car. Got the FPV drones all around, swarming these cars like flies out here. It's awesome to see. Believe that to be Echo FPV out there. Check him out on Instagram. Does some of the best drone work we've seen recently. Although, what am I saying? We got our own camera guy here, Ryan, who's doing the stream. He also does some FPV drone. Hopefully we'll be doing some more FPV drone at these events. Can't give these other guys too much credit. I kind of occupy Ryan's time making sure he films these live streams, bringing you guys the news, but he also does a lot of really good drone work, which you will see in some of our other videos. Crowd is cheering. I think they're looking forward to seeing this Nissan situation doing some drifting. Let's see this thing. Don't see a lot of these as rally cars. Maybe 15 years ago we saw a couple of Australians bring these things over with like 450 wheel horsepower for open two-wheel drive. Will Orders from Australia brought those over, was putting on proper shows, laying down record stage times for the two-wheel drive situation with these. There it is. Can't even get off the line, so much wheel spin. Might have been intentional, putting on a show. Here we go. See some drifting coming around the corner. There it is, nice and early. Oh, had to correct a little bit, didn't want to clip that barrel. There it is, nice and early again. Keeping it going, little understeer at the exit, might be a tactic. There we go. Coming around the corner here, doing the donut. And the 240, that banked wall just seems to be tricking everyone, but we're actually getting some tire smoke there. Great to see. First jump for the 240. Nice and tidy. Just a teeny bit of angle coming around. Let's see it stay flat. Just a slight lift coming around. Decent amount of angle coming around the bank turn as well. Last jump for the 240. Did a little braking, but almost more nosedive after the braking. It's kind of not working out in their favor. You got to stay flat. I think that's just about everyone's advice in rally. If you're going to ask people how to do this, it's stay flat over the jumps. It's really the only solution. There we go. We might get a burnout. There it is. There it is. That's what it's all about. Right there. That's rally. There we go. Putting on a show. A little bit of tire smoke now. That was awesome. Glad that happened right here, right in front of us for the live stream. You're good. No, you're good. Camera's over here. Got a lot more fans coming up. You're good. I don't want to block your shot. No, you're good. We got people here trying to get shots. And I always try to accommodate and respect other media people if they're coming in and getting a shot. Got to make sure everyone share the love, get the shot, spread the sport. That's what we're here. It's all about. We just got to see a nice burnout lined up. That wasn't planned. I did not slip them $20 to do a burnout in front of us. Next time I might, though. That's a good idea. Next up, we got another Fiesta. Oh, this is a Civic, but I was looking over to my right. The Fiesta is lined up on the other side. I believe we got the sequential in this little Civic out here. Just about 7 to 10 cars left. It's hard to tell. A few might have dropped out. I'm just looking at the start order from the original. I know we were down about 10 cars going into the stage from the start yesterday, so we'll see. So he's got the open door there, cooling that thing off. I know William Ross is in there co-driving in this Civic. This thing is pretty quick, got that sequential transmission in it. They had a very interesting jump yesterday. I would imagine we're going to see an interesting jump here as well. Give them a countdown. Is that even real? Okay, they did give a countdown. The crowd somehow got the clock. Maybe there's a clock over there I'm not aware of. Displaying the time. There we go. The front-wheel drive Civic, hucking it in. Cruising around, a little bit of rotation. William Ross in there calling the notes. Thing is screaming. Trying to figure out that donut. He was turning left, turning right, maybe trying to pendulum. Couldn't quite figure it out. Got around there. There we go. Hard to do a donut in those front wheel drives. Tidy on the jump. Kind of lame. Let's see it stay flat on this one for us. Let's see. Cars mobbing around. Stay flat. Stay flat. There we go. That thing rips. Cruising, braking for the jump. Sounds good. A little excessive use of the brakes. Might have forgot this was a race. Next up, we got a Fiesta out here. Red, yellow, green. Fantastic looking car. Taking a look at this list here to see who's up next. This 2019 Fiesta. I'm not familiar with this name. So it's hard to pronounce. I believe this to be Tevik in the Fiesta. We'll see. Great looking car. Fantastic colors. Clean Fiesta. Like I was saying, you see a lot of these Fiestas out here. Becoming a more and more popular car. So lined up, a couple feet behind the start line there. Interesting to see the change-ups of where people are lining up. Any second now. Again, if you're joining us, this is round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota. We're here for round 7 Overmountain Rally in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. And if you've been here the whole time, I commend you for spending that much time and dedication on the sport of rally. I take my time to come out here to bring you the news, and I appreciate when people appreciate our content and watch all our streams. If you can't make it, try to make it next time. But for now, enjoy the stream. And if you're enjoying this stream, this thing is brought to you by TerraDeck. We have our TerraDeck 5G Mobile Prism Backpack. This thing has 6 modems, the new model, which we've already tested out. If you actually check out TerraDeck's website, you might see some of our streams on their promotions for that thing, and that new one has 8 modems in that thing, 8 SIM cards, bonds those networks together. You can plug in an Ethernet, hook it up to Wi-Fi as well, hook it up to a Starlink. It bonds all those networks together so your stream never goes down. You can go live anywhere with this thing. We took this thing to Africa to stream some WRC stuff earlier in the year. We were middle of the desert around zebras and giraffes and didn't drop the stream. You can watch all that on all of the Dirtfish Rally channels. Here we go, and they're about to kick off. There we go. They have entered the stage in the Fiesta. A little bit of wheel spin coming off the line. I want to see some wild jumps out here. There we go, coming around. Nice and tidy. Quick but quiet. There we go. Nice, up the bank. It's hard to donut around that thing on the bank. I almost want to grab the rental car and see if I can go for a run and maybe make that work. Nice smooth jump there. Here's the next jump coming around. Diving down in the bank turn there, nice and tidy. Coming around the corner, stay flat, stay flat. Not bad, not bad. I think next time I need to bring some of those 1 to 10 scoring numbers here so we can rank all those jumps. Nice finishing jump there. Little nosedive, but significantly faster than the first couple of jumps, so great to see. Next up, speaking of families rallying, we got Scott Pedersen and another Lexus with River City Rally. Scott has been bringing his sons out to Dirtfish for 5 or 6 years, and Kaysen Pedersen actually won limited 2-wheel drive national in Ohio, which was fantastic to see. And now he's taken that rental car from his son, and he has ran it for 3 events now. I believe this is his 3rd rally ever. He had a podium last event. He'd been coming to the school for 5-6 years, learning to drive rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, all of it. And then he said, you know, seeing my son do this, I want to try it myself. He just was going to do one event for fun, and that's how it happens. You know, you come to the school, you say you just want to go there once, try it, get it out of your system. You end up coming for 6 years, once a year with your family and friends, and then your whole family ends up rallying. I'm sure we're going to see Kaysen and Scott out a lot more in the future. You got Scott Pedersen with his co-driver Ryan Scott in there. Ryan Scott, a very experienced co-driver, which definitely helps when you're getting into the sport. For your first rally, it's nice to have someone sitting beside you that's done this 50 to 100 times already. I'm sure Ryan Scott might actually have maybe 200 rallies under his belt, if not more. Very experienced co-driver. So here we go. Scott is lining up, very excited to be here in that Lexus. There he goes. He has entered the stage. First hairpin. There he goes, nice and tidy to start. Let's see if he gets sideways a little bit. Scott's no stranger to speed, throwing it around, but he also plays it smart. A little bit of rotation there. Looks like he's lost a bit of the front bumper, so maybe he's got that in mind. Nice and tidy. Quiet exhaust on that thing, but he's sliding around a bit. Good rotation. Now let's see this donut. This is where it gets interesting. Nice, good start. Got to keep it going around. Nice, came to a stop. Tidy though. Ripping it around. Here's the jump. Broke for the jump. Scott, let's see a big jump on this one. There we go. He's mid-bank, going way up there. Here's coming around. Decent amount of lockup, playing it smart. He's already lost a bit of that front bumper, doesn't want to lose the rest. Bring it home, finish the rally today, and finish those 7 more stages tomorrow. There's Scott locking it up before the jump as well. Not quite getting any air, playing the long game. He had that podium last rally. You know, he's seeing that podium tomorrow, wants to keep it in mind. So it looks like we got the Tipmans out here in the Fiesta. Yesterday they had a massive jump in this black and green Fiesta. Great to see. They've been out here for the past, I think the whole year basically. We've seen them all season, building their way up, working their way up the start order. And now they're out here about to start the Super Special. So I think we got just a couple of more cars. We're coming to the end. Again, if you're just joining us, this is round 7 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota Overmountain Rally. We're here in Newport, Tennessee at the Newport Speedway. Looks like we got an E30 BMW lining up next after this Fiesta. Love to see the rear-wheel drive E30s out here. Might be an old Pro 3 car if you're familiar with Pro 3. Great to see those things. I own an E30, love those cars. Classics. The Tipmans lined up high on the wall, but again, 10, 15 feet off of the start line there. Here we go. They're doing a countdown in the stands. They must have a clock over there that these guys can see. There we go. The Fiesta has entered the stage. Coming around, something happened. Co-driver's door came open. They're pulling over. They're pulling over. They're doing some moves. Your best bet is just to put your foot to the floor, but he's got to reach for that door. The door's closed. There we go. You know, sometimes it gets hot out here. You got to keep that door open until the last second. The door was open just a little bit too long, and the co-driver's door opened right up. So there we go, coming around. A little bit of understeer. Threw some handbrake into it at the end just to tidy it up. Hopefully we'll see a significant amount of handbrake here around the barrel. There we go. Up high in the bank, nice handbrake there. And a third handbrake to tidy it up. Now to the jumps for the Tipmans. Nice and tidy jump there, coming around. Dipping low on the bank, good slide, a little bit understeer. Let's see a flat jump here. Nice, nice. A little bit of sparks. Nice solid skid plate landing. We're going to see a nice big jump here at the finish with a proper nosedive. There it is. Bringing home day 2 of the rally for the Tipmans. Next up, we got the E30 BMW heading out there. This thing is screaming already. Very loud. Let's see who's in the E30. Burke Nash out here in the E30, lining up about 100 yards away from the start line. Maybe just warming up the tires, not sure what's going on. There we go. So Nash is lined up at the start line, high on the banking, right there at the start line, ready to go. Any second now. We just have a few cars left. The rally is coming to an end for day 2, but we still got 7 stages left to go. Still plenty of rally to go. Again, subscribe to all of our channels. We bring you the news all weekend and into event 8 of the ARA National Championship presented by Kubota in Lake Superior area, up in Lake Superior Performance Rally in Marquette, Michigan in the Upper Peninsula. We'll be there in just a couple of weeks, mid-October. So here we go, E30's lined up. We got the FPV drones all around swarming that thing like flies. About 5 seconds, just about to kick off here. Nash and the BMW. Hopefully we see some drifting action with this rear-wheel drive. Still say we have yet to anyone see nail the donut with that angle. Around nice and tidy to start. You know, get a little bit of rotation coming through here, keeping it tidy. There we go, Nash ripping. Nice and tidy around there. Now to the donut. This rear wheel drive does have the favor, but that banking has been making it tough for everyone all night. Really tight to the barrel there. Up on the bank, back down, around, making it work. Bringing it home, getting to the jumps. Tidy over the jump. Just feeling it out. Hopefully stays flat on this one. Let's see it. E30 diving in low. Nash coming around the corner. Let's see some speed on this jump. Keeping it tidy. Cruising around the banking there. And braking for the jump. There we go. Next up, another Impreza heading in. We got Zach Felton Pristner. The Impreza heading in. Pretty cool livery on this two-door Impreza there. Just got a few cars left here on day 2 of Overmountain Rally. Still 7 stages to go tomorrow. Lots of rally left. According to the start order, we got about 5 cars left. Not sure if all those cars are still in. We will see. So Zach is lined up at the start line here. There we go. Still a decent amount of fans sticking around. The grandstands aren't quite as full as they were, but people are sticking around. Yesterday they ran this in reverse order, so the cars that were starting first tonight were actually going last night. But with it being a standalone stage, it kind of makes it a little bit easier for everyone to start reverse order. Tonight they're coming in from all the other stages, so they had to start with the first place car, Connor Martell, being first on the road out here for the Super Special. There we go. This Impreza should be entering any second. Seen a couple of wild card jumps. I'm hoping we see a few more of those wild card jumps. Just about 5 seconds here. They're going to enter the stage. Entering the hairpin there. There it is. Car's quiet but moving. Nice and tidy. Just a hair of understeer, but sending it in on the start. Coming around down the straight and into the donut. There it is, up high on the bank. A little bit of hairpin to start. All the way around and back to the jump. And now here we go. Let's stay flat. Staying kind of low on the bank to start. Going flat. Not bad, not bad. Little lift before. Not bad speed though. Nice. Good finisher. Nice smooth landing on that jump. Flew pretty flat there. Next up we got Leonardo Quintero and the Impreza. This thing's a little bit louder. Getting ready to head out on the stage, lining up at the start line. Just about getting ready to wrap it up here. I think we got about 5 or 10 minutes left. And if you've made it all the way through this stream, I commend you. You must really love rally almost as much as I do, enough to stay here and talk for 2.5 hours or something like that, however long we've been streaming. Checking the lights as they're getting ready to go here. There we go, Leonardo Quintero in the Impreza. This thing sounded loud as he pulled out there. Hopefully this thing starts screaming once he gets going around the track. they going to give him the countdown again? Leonardo Quintero got the light bar on. And the Impreza, 5 seconds kicking off here. Hoping we see a couple more wild card jumps. If you're here for the jumps, stay tuned. We got a few more cars that might actually just completely send it. There we go, staying flat. Nice rotation coming in, a little bit understeer, almost out wide. Stayed a little too flat coming in. You got to lift for those. There you go. Bit more rotation. Ooh, something sounded, maybe skid plate, maybe a D-bead, something made a noise. Looks like a D-bead. Travis Pastrana was talking about that going into this, that we were going to see some D-beads. We've made it about 30 some cars through, and this is our first D-bead. So they're rocking a flat front right tire as they're trying to go up the banking to the donut. The tire just went flat, so we may see a nice jump here on 3 tires with air in them. Hopefully send it. Come on, don't lift. They're mildly just bringing her home. Could potentially be more than a flat tire. Hearing some pinging and some metal bouncing around. Maybe it's some suspension or a control arm as well. So they're playing it safe, getting this thing home for the night. The crowd is loving it. The crowd is absolutely loving it. Seeing some damage like that and still going for it, not just pulling over. That's what rally is all about. Sounding rougher and rougher. They're using the horn to mask the sounds of potentially broken suspension. Maybe it's seen some smoke out of the front right as well. So it looks like Jason Kodat is out there in the Fiesta as well next up. Seeing a lot of these Fiestas out here. These are such a popular front-wheel drive rally car.
He said these guys are awesome. They broke down in front of him twice last year.
Then we've only got about 2 or 3 cars left here. We will see how this goes. Jason Kodat is lining up. Decent amount of fans still left. They want to see some wild card jumps, as do I. That's why we're still here. We're bringing you the news. We stay all the way throughout the entire field, streaming the whole time with this Teradek 5G mobile Prism backpack. Might be messing up the wording on that a little bit. It's a lot of words. Basically, it's a device that you wear. It's got a bunch of modems in it, a couple of SIM cards, 6 to 8. 8 of them in the new jetpack. You can hook up Wi-Fi to it, plug in Ethernet, and you can basically go live anywhere. You can hook up a Starlink and 8 different cell phone modems. This thing bonds all those networks together, spreads your data out into the cloud, brings it to you live anywhere in the world. So here we go. Jason Kodat in the Fiesta out here in the orange, yellow, greenish thing. Beautiful wrap on this thing. You know, quiet exhaust, but moving pretty good. Nice and tidy. There we go. Back around the back straight. Now up to the donut. We just saw that D-bead flat tire and potential brake suspension situation, so I think they're going to play it double safe here on this after seeing something like that happen. I still heard some rubbing with the wheels and the plastic in there. But now onto the jumps. You made it through the donut. I think that was the hardest part. The jumps now are just fun. So completely send it on the jumps, please. Here we go. Is that a horn or is that plastic? I think that's horn. There we go, staying flat. Nice, a little bit of rubbing on the underbody there coming through Jason Kodat. Nice and smooth. You're hearing that underbody rub around the corner on the banking with those extra G-forces. Nice, good jump there. Well, now we got Imogen Thompson and Stephen Harrell entering the stage in the Fiesta, the TRF Fiesta. TRF's running a few different cars out here this weekend. Need that to be Thompson Race Fabrication out of Michigan. Runs a lot of rally cars. Again, another crew that you can rent a rally car to or from. You might be able to rent a car to them, but more likely rent one from them. So we've seen this duo racing for over a year now. We saw them at LSPR, and their front-wheel drive car got stuck going uphill. Stephen Harrell had to get out and push the car uphill because it was so loose and muddy when they were towards the back of the pack that they couldn't get the grip to even get the car moving up this final stage of the rally. But they made it, and it was great. And we were there at the end of the stage, bringing you guys the news, getting the interview, finding out exactly, I mean, just minutes after Stephen was out of the car, we were there getting the interview, getting the details, and it was online within seconds, streaming with our Teradek Mobile 5G Prism backpack. Soon to be the Jetpack, the new model, which has just come out. Check that out on Teradek's website. And watch for us, Dirtfish, on the promotions for that, because we've been testing out some of their equipment, because that's what rally's all about. You're out in the middle of nowhere doing wild things. That's what we do. Bring you the news.
Some guy gave you a business card, and you don't know it, and you walk it down here to me.
5 seconds here. Imogen and Stephen Harrell. Imogen Thompson entering the stage in the Ford Fiesta, getting out there wide, trying to make this hairpin nice and round, carrying some speed around the corner. There she goes around the infield, keeping it smooth. It's a quiet car, but it's moving. There it is, dropped a gear on the straightaway. Feeling out the tarmac. And into the donut. This donut's been getting trickier and trickier. I don't think the barrel's moved, but it seems like it's been getting harder and harder for people, overthinking it a little bit. That bank turn going up. This might be one of the better strategies we've seen, is just keep a consistent radius. That was probably one of the fastest ones we've seen in the last 10, 15 cars. Nice and tidy on the jump. Steven, again, probably 300 rallies under his belt in the co-driver's seat, guiding Imogen here on how to take these jumps and how to take this rally in a hole. Here we go. Nice jump. Nice and tidy. Not too crazy, nice and smooth. Keeping it smart. Final jump of the night for Imogen and Stephen Harrell. Nice. And we got McGowan here. What looks like maybe an E36, E46 BMW. Can't specifically tell from a distance, but it's definitely a BMW, definitely a straight six. Screaming. Listen to that thing, warming up the brakes a little bit, warming up the tires. Hopefully we're going to see some good jumps out of this thing. Plenty of power in this car. Here we go. All right, the BMW is on the line. McGowan, Kevin McGowan, and Eric Easel, if I'm saying that correctly. Here we go. Just a few seconds. A couple of cars left. Again, if you're just joining us, we are at round 7 of the ARA National Championship Overmountain Rally in Newport, Tennessee. Right now we're at the Super Special in Newport Speedway. They're giving a countdown in the crowd. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Nice. Good to have a nice loud exhaust. We had some of those Fiestas the last couple cars. Very quiet. So here we go. Got the BMW ripping around. Coming around the corner. Nice and tidy on there. Getting into the gas on the straight. We want to hear that thing scream. Do some drifting. Keeping it tidy. Playing it smart. Next barrel. For the donut. Going around. Now, everyone might have just learned from Imogen keeping that consistent radius. That was perfect from the BMW. No nonsense. Just get the car around the barrel. Everyone tried to slide, start, stop, start, stop. That was just drive around it. So here we go. Next jump for the BMW. McGowan. Nice. Tidy jump. Going around the corner. And onto the straight. There's the jump. There we go. Here we go. We got Jack Pullen and Christian Laprade. They were last on the road earlier. I'm not sure if they're the last car of the night. This is Christian's first rally. I'm not sure about Jack. It might be his first rally as well. But we know Christian. We've seen him in a lot of the videos. He was always popping up the last couple of years in the start interviews we were doing at the Park Exposés. Now he's out here competing. He's got a couple championships as a volunteer and as a crew person, maybe just a crew person. Always out here working on cars. But now he's in the car co-driving. I heard he was copying and cleaning up his notes for about 2 hours. People said he was sitting there very serious, very focused. He's been in the sport so long, but now he's actually made the transition to being a co-driver in the passenger seat there. Great to see Christian out here. And Jack Pullen in the Honda Civic. So this must be the last car because the safety sweep has lined up behind us for the next one. So this is final car of the night. We could see something wild here. They know what's at stake. Your last car on the road, do you send it on the jump? Do you do something wild, pull handbrake, do a nice big donut in the front wheel drive? Civic, we'll see. Maybe a reverse donut. Anything's possible in rally. There we go, Jack Pullen. Got some launch control on that Civic. That's awesome. Heading in and into the infield around the first hairpin. This thing sounds great. Nice early turn in, setting up nice and wide. Little rotation there on the exit. There it is around the back. And into the donut. Just continuing that radius. Is that the way to go? Oh, a little extra. Going around, keeping it tidy. Got to make some adjustments, but still not bad. Nice and smooth over the jump. Christian, hopefully you're in there calling it, saying stay flat over the jump. For the stream, obviously. Nice, Honda Civic screaming over the bank turn. Final jump of the night right here. Here we go. Not bad. There we go, Christian Laprade, co-driving for Jack Pullen there in the Honda Civic. That's a wrap on the night, guys. Safety Sweep has entered the stage. Again, thank you for joining us on all of our channels. Ryan's just turned on the light for me. We've been streaming for 2-3 hours, something like that. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to be able to come out here and call what's going on, keep you guys informed, educate you about the sport. Again, if you want to do this, come check us out, Dirtfish Rally School. Cool school. Dirtfish Rally School just outside of Seattle, located in Snoqualmie, Washington. Again, still a lot more stages to go. 7 stages left, 16 stages total in the rally. This was stage 9. So we will see you tomorrow morning for the rest of the rally. Again, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.